depressing level up, but that's what we're going to go with. All right, so this week we are going to be discussing mostly CES, but there was a ton of news this week.
Ridiculous amounts.
Yeah,
copious.
which is why we hope we get a lot of people in here. But
news.
We got like 30 stories to discuss. We got $65 worth of games to give away.
Woo!
This is supposed to be a great week for us.
Big week.
Yeah, big week.
Big week. Big numbers.
If you haven't watched us before, we are the Level Up Show. We are a gaming dedicated discussion broadcast, and we stick to gaming to stick within TOS for Twitch. And you can find us on Twitter, on Facebook, on Blogspot, on Google Drive for our podcast. That'll all be listed in the chat room. But I'm Andrew. I'm your main host. And this is my buddy Mike.
Al Borland.
The co-host. And our two producers, Kristen and Mark.
Hello!
You know what I realized? The whole thing usually when I say hi or say goodbye or I say something, I usually do like this, like the salute. I realize I'm like Al Borland. I'm always wearing flannel.
This might be a really stupid question, but who's Al Borland?
What the fuck, Drew?
Watch.
Really?
Thank you!
Who's Al Borland?
Really?
Yes.
Thank you.
This is
I don't know.
Tim the Two-Man Tower?
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Damn it.
His
I'm
co-host?
sorry, I haven't watched.
Oh, come on.
Doesn't
in a
matter.
very long time.
It's classic TV. You dick.
I'm sorry. Wait, Al was his friend, right?
Yeah.
Because his name was Tim on it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Hence
I'm sorry.
Two-Man Taylor.
Yes, I'm sorry. I don't remember
He
that.
blanked. Give the man a break.
I blanked. Yeah, it's been a really long time. I'm lost on my '90s sitcoms. But okay.
Taylor Thomas was on there. Bet you remember that.
I do remember that.
Quite.
Oh,
Ironically. Okay, so I think we're going to do a little bit of a different structure this week because our topic of the week is essentially just
news.
the news.
There's way too much to even have a topic of the week.
So because of that, let's start with what we've been playing. You might have seen what I've been playing actually a few times this week, and I put up some videos on YouTube and whatnot. But Don't Starve, it came out this past Tuesday on PlayStation Plus. It's free for all PlayStation Plus users. It's done by a developer named Clay, and it's a survival game.
Name?
I think so. It's KLEI.
Clay Aiken.
Yeah,
It's not Clay Aiken.
I hadn't heard of them before. Don't Starve was originally a PC title. Like I said, it's a survival game, kind of in the vein of Minecraft. I guess that's what I hear.
Okay.
I've never played Minecraft.
You've never seen?
I've never ever seen or played Minecraft.
What the hell are you doing? I mean, everybody's at least seen something from Minecraft.
I've seen what it looks like. I've seen like that. It looks like Legos kind of and whatnot. The art style behind it, but that's about it. Working on PS4, but not Mac for me. That's
Mark has it working on his Mac. So
yeah, something weird's going on.
There's something weird going on. Twitch just hates us. It's okay.
Yeah, someone is against us tonight. But besides that, okay. So Don't Starve. It's really neat visually. I talked about it before. Kind of looks like Nightmare Before Christmas, Coraline style game, Tim Burton-esque.
More Coraline than anything else.
More Coraline, yeah. And it looks like all hand drawn, kind of like sprites of
I've seen a lot of it. Yeah, and it looks really creative.
It's a pretty game. I mean, it's clearly an indie title.
Oh yeah,
but it looks good enough.
How far are you into it?
Well, the thing is, it's not a story. That's what I'm going to go into. It's not like it's a rogue game, meaning that every time you die, you start from the very beginning. Yeah. So it goes by days, and each day lasts about 8 minutes. You go through a day, midday, night cycle, and it's called Don't Starve because you are an inventor who makes a deal with, I think, the devil for like more intelligence and whatnot, and then it backfires on him, and the devil throws him into this like purgatory type world with like really creepy shit going on, and you're just tasked to survive, to figure out what you need to do. You're left with nothing, and the world has tons of objects and food and just anything that you can collect and build things out of. You're a scientist, like I said, so you can invent things that you can then use. But the main danger comes when night comes, and like I said, night only lasts for maybe 2 minutes of the 8-minute day. So, like, just to give an example, right from the start, you come in and there's flowers, there's like grass, there's I'm trying to think, just like carrots and stuff like that. And once you get enough stuff, like logs and whatnot, you get logs from chopping down a tree. But first you need to build an axe. Then you get the tree, the logs. Then once you get the logs, you can build a fire. Because
I feel like that's kind of like that circle that they do. Like you need to build an axe, but you need wood to build the axe, but you need the axe to get wood.
That's exactly what it is.
So
if you don't know what you need,
can't get a good job because I didn't go to school. I didn't go to school because I didn't have money. I didn't have money because I didn't go to a good job.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's like a trial and error type game because, for instance, the first time I played, I couldn't figure out how to get to the fire, so I died at night. You need to chop down a tree in order to get logs so you can build a fire. In order to chop down the tree, you need to figure out that you get an axe first. So it's a step-by-step thing. And then the second playthrough, I died of hunger because I couldn't figure out what I needed to eat. You have to cook your stuff over the fire, stuff like that, in order to feed your hunger enough that you'll survive.
So it's like Minecraft meets Dark.
Yes.
That's actually what it is.
I said that exact thing during the stream because you'll encounter enemies sometimes. You've probably seen the GIF before, where you're walking and all of a sudden you see this insanely creepy creature and you're like, nope. Nope, running the other way. Run, no way am I going near you. Like, the thing is, like, some of them look really scary, but you can actually kill them.
Dead Space almost half the time. I just like go down a hallway, I just hear clinking, and then I'm like, nope. Go up in here, you go. You can have this.
Yeah, it's not like a horror game, but there are moments where you're like, okay, no way am I going near that thing. You start with the axe, that's like a weapon, but you can eventually build like spears, and I'm sure there's bow and arrows and stuff because birds are one thing that I keep wanting to kill, but they fly away before I can get close enough. So I'm sure there's got to be long-range weapons.
Isn't that like usually like the first time of a serial killer when you want to kill animals?
Yes,
Yeah,
true.
yeah, usually.
But you have to. This is survival here.
Oh, okay.
This
is
is
the difference.
Just straight survival. There's nothing else in this world, human-wise, except for there's these like pig-like creatures that sometimes I actually feel bad to kill because they run from you.
Yeah. What are you doing?
I'm trying to put it up higher because it's like.
Why would you put it up higher? Just leave it where it was. All right, keep going. Anyway,
so they run and you chase them and they actually say no, back off. Like the pigs are afraid of you. It's pretty bizarre. And then you start. It's working now. Woo! Woo!
all right.
But so that's one thing to kill and cook over the fire. But what's cool about the game too is as the days pass, you start to like look different. Like you grow a beard. Like the main character actually grows
cool.
like a beard that you can shave off.
So it's kind of like those little subtle things that just show how much work they actually put into it.
But what's really crazy about it is like, you know what, I like the way my beard looks right now, so I didn't want to shave it, but eventually I was like, alright, I found a razor, I might as well shave my beard, right? So I shaved my beard, and the shavings drop on the ground, which are another thing that you can use to build something else.
Get out of here.
Everything in the game, it helps to build something.
Excellent.
Here you're talking about don't starve, therefore the longest you guys survive. I'm still on my current playthrough, Exoil, and I'm at day 15, which is the furthest by far that I've made it. I kept kind of getting to day 5 or 6. I've seen some people that have gotten above day 100, which blows my mind. Because, like I said...
So it's savable. You can save where you're at and
thank God.
Pick up, okay.
Because if you think about it, like days are at least 8 minutes. If you look at the map, you pause, you do anything, it pauses that time. So most days are actually like 10 minutes or more.
Right,
so if you think about it, if you go through 140 days, like I saw one guy, that's 1,400 minutes that he's been playing. So yeah, you can't do that in one sitting, obviously. But like as the days pass, like days change, the way they cycle, like days might become longer, nights might become longer. Eventually you'll reach winter, and then you need to figure out how do I build shelter. Like it's endless, and the world is enormous. It's just massive, and every time that you play it, the world changes.
Huh.
It's never the same, so it's endlessly replayable. Because it's almost like a No Man's Sky, and that it's procedurally generated.
Right, yeah, okay.
Every time you start a new game, it actually like shows the world kind of being created in a sense. Like it shows like a load screen where it's like we're adding in monsters now, we're adding in terrain, we're doing this, we're doing that, like letting you know that like we're creating an entirely new world for you to explore right now, with like caves and like sinkholes and stuff that you can fall down, wormholes that you can jump into. It's just there's a lot in this game.
So okay, so it's basically that Minecraft meets Dark Souls meets Toe Jam and Earl.
Hello, Gecko. I don't think I've seen you before. I guess you haven't watched us before. We are the Level Up Show, and we are a gaming-dedicated discussion broadcast.
Yeah.
We're going to stick pretty much to discussing games for an hour and a half or so, and eventually we might have you call in when we get into the big news stories of the week. CES was the big news this week, so hopefully we get a bunch of people in here and we can get a really good discussion going. I'm talking about Don't Starve right now.
I saw this, by the way, and I've read that.
I saw that on the wallpapers that he showed me. He showed me a Shadow of the Colossus wallpaper. There's a link that he showed me with 554, or what is it? 554, 544, something like that. Just a massive amount of wallpapers.
And they're gorgeous.
And I looked at every single
one of them.
Yeah.
Are they freaking?
Some
I had
of
to
them
do
are
it on
really
my
cool.
phone, so I'm like going through all.
Shadow of the Colossus?
No, I have actually my main one right now. I actually
Send
changed
me
it
the
to
link.
this one, the Bob-Ombs.
Yeah, the Bob-Omb one is good, yeah.
Nice.
I wish there was a little bit more diversity. It's very, like, Fallout, Shadow of the Colossus. There's a lot of Star Wars. I like the one with Han. That's really cool.
Yeah, the one with Han and Chewie, the weird drawing. That's why I had it.
I wish it was a little more spread out. There's, like, only one Journey wallpaper in there. I was like, oh, I need more Journey wallpapers. But, because that's what I have on my everything, pretty much, is a Journey wallpaper. So yeah, Gecko, thanks for coming in. Hope you stay. Talking about Don't Starve, I really think that anyone that has PlayStation Plus should try this out at least. It's a really interesting game. If you've never played Minecraft like I have, I've never experienced something like this, it's kind of addictive. It really is. I can see why it was so popular on PC. X-Oil's asking, who's the dude in back?
What dude in the back?
Who's this? What are you talking about? This guy.
Yeah, that guy.
That is my brother.
Go along with that. I was
He decided to join us tonight. His name's Anthony.
See, I'm not.
That would have been funny, right?
would've been
Well, we
actually
could have all
really
just been like the four of us would have just been like, who are you talking about? And
There's no one there, and then everyone freaks out. And
yeah, that was kind
there's
of
a
cool.
ghost in the back. So I think I'll stop there. I don't want to go. I could talk about this game for a while because, like I said, there's just so many things that you
you
can
can talk about
collect.
any game for a while, but
Yeah, I think this one especially just because every minute you find something different. Like, oh wow, there's like a new item I can create. Oh, like I can invent something new. So it's pretty neat. So that's me for this week. That's all I've been playing except Tearaway, which I've talked about enough on this. So, X-Oil, yes, Anthony. That is my brother, Anthony.
Yeah.
So you can welcome him to the Level Up show. He's probably the reason we have no one watching tonight.
Yeah. Good job, man.
He's our jinx. But go ahead, Mike. Are you still playing Pokemon?
Not anymore. I mean, kind of, but I stopped. I actually finally completed it. I completed the story.
Now, does it tell you how many hours that took?
Well, it lies. So like I'm sure you've seen how like I'll pause games and I'll leave them.
Yeah.
So the amount of time it's been on is like 60 hours.
Okay.
So it was a decent amount of time, but I'll probably say honestly, I probably did put about 30 hours into it.
Okay.
Because it's a while. I mean, it takes a while. It's Pokemon. You have to catch them all.
Yeah, definitely. Gotta catch them all.
So no, this one has a lot of them. Like it's funny because remember how when we started there was like 152 or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was 151. Yeah.
Now, like
when they added Mew,
I didn't even get halfway through them. My Pokedex has like 290.
That kind of turns me off a little bit.
It's really annoying. There's way too much.
Yeah, I liked 150.
Right, and it was perfect. So I mean, don't get me wrong. It's actually cool because they brought back some of the original style Pokemon.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's dick. Anyway,
Kind of a little creepy.
right? Are you X-Oil? Are you pranking us?
No.
That's really weird. But anyway, no. I mean, you don't remember anything from the first one, do you?
I remember.
There's a story
the
to all of them.
gyms that you go through.
Right.
and
Well,
whatnot.
there's a story in the games,
Is
and
there?
then there's a story in the games, and then there's also the gym leaders. And the main focus of the games usually are the gym leaders, but then it's progressively gotten about the story. And this one was actually pretty good. I told you right at the beginning, the graphics have enhanced a lot.
Yeah.
But the story is actually pretty. Pokemon dies.
What?
Dies. Like a Pokemon dies.
Okay.
And I'm like, all of a sudden I'm just like, no. And it was like kind of emotional because A, it's the sad part of the game, but B, a Pokemon fucking dies.
Like
when
the
does
first
that happen?
episode of the television show where Pikachu almost dies, and you're like, we gotta save Pikachu.
Right. So it's nuts. So the actual game itself was pretty good. I mean, it was relentless at one point. It was challenging. The Elite Four this time was actually a challenge. Like even though like I had gone through, I don't know what I did. I don't know if I broke the game or like I just trained the right way. But there's a thing called Experience Share where all your Pokemon would level up at the same time.
Yeah.
In all the matches, and so.
We'll be talking about PlayStation Now later on in the episode, Kefka.
Yeah,
when we
that's
get into
actually one
CES discussion.
of our big topics.
Yeah, we'll be talking about that for a while.
But yeah, I would go through a boss battle, and usually it would be each Pokemon that come out, it would be like one hit kill, and it was easy. I was breezing through the game.
Yeah.
And I got to the Elite Four, and I was getting my ass handed to me. So it was a challenge, but it was fun. It was really. I mean, it brought me back and made me like, be reminiscent of when I was a kid, and enjoying that, and then B, it was actually a fun game in its own. But it was definitely going to play through.
What's next for you on 2DS?
I don't know. I might do Link Between Worlds.
Yeah,
I might do that.
That's what I would recommend. I would think. Or Mario 3D Land.
I played 3D Land. I don't know if I told you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I played the 3D Land a while ago. It was fun. I don't like the camera style.
Okay.
That's the only problem. I don't know if you know they changed it.
Is it like kind of like you can't really rotate entirely, but it's rotated
not
like
64? Where it was completely free world, but basically it's like you have a free open space, but your camera's stuck. Like imagine.
It's almost Little Big Planet-esque.
Yes, but imagine more of a 3D plane.
Yeah.
So it's a little annoying, but I can go into that again. But I was debating that. I was even thinking about Fire Emblem.
Okay, I heard Fire Emblem.
Luigi's Mansion. There's a bunch of them I can go through.
This year for 3DS, and I guess you could say 2DS as well, was really big. There's a lot of games
the
to get
same
on
console.
this. Yeah.
I'm just refer to it as 3DS because people get really confused.
Yeah, it is confusing. That's why
there's a lot of really good games that came out this year. So there's a lot that I'm going to pick up on. So I'm probably going into something else different. I'm probably going to pick up something on PS Plus again.
Yeah.
And play it. Because we
There's
just
a lot coming.
we got DMC, right?
Yeah, maybe we should kind of split that because I think I want to play Brothers more than I want to play DMC. So maybe I could play Brothers and you could play DMC when they come out. The thing is, I have a feeling they're probably going to spread that out though. I don't think they're going to come out on the same week. So I guess we'll probably both have to play it.
Yeah.
We just had 14 or a couple more people come in. We're up to 14 now. Sorry.
Come up,
level up.
What the hell is that?
It had to happen.
Right?
But to the people that just joined us, if you haven't watched us before, we're the Level Up Show and we're a gaming dedicated discussion. We have $65 in free games to give away today.
Woo!
So you might want to stick around because we've got a few really great games to give away.
You hear that?
And
You're silent tonight. What are you doing?
Study.
yeah. Oh, she's studying.
I'm not studying.
Oh yeah, sure you're not. It's okay. She needs to study. She's got her boards coming up. So, but
If there's more people to talk to, I'll talk.
yeah, maybe if some more people come in, Kristen will actually contribute to the conversation. Get your friends.
Yeah.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends. Post on 4chan. No, don't do that.
Bad Drew. Don't give them ideas.
That was sarcastic.
It's a sugar idea.
Please don't do that.
God,
Let's see. Exoil, you are now following us on Twitch. Thank you very much for following us.
Damn it with your passwords
passcode, I'm
and your
sorry.
newfangled bullshit.
So from there, I was thinking of doing a blast from the past. It will be really short. Do you want me to do it?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's do it. Let's get some more in there.
No one is going to figure out this game, but I will still play the music just
Do
because.
I know what it is even?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think anyone would figure this out. It's like it's a really old PC title.
What do I win if I know what it is?
I don't know. You can keep the games that we're
Respect.
giving away this week, I guess.
I want to keep the games though.
But it sounds really weird, doesn't it?
Sounds really weird.
I'll turn it up a little louder so people.
That's what I'm thinking. Oh man.
Alright. So this is a game called Goblin's Quest. Anybody? It's actually the third Goblin's Quest. Okay, so back when Sierra was real big, and they were doing...
God, you remember Sierra?
Yeah,
Sierra Games?
Huge, man.
Oh, jeez.
They did...
the three swooshes
Yes.
for the Sierra name?
Yeah.
Wow.
They did all the point-and-click adventures back in the
Yeah.
day, along with Lucas Arts.
Yeah.
But they would do like King's Quest. Does anyone remember King's Quest? Goblin's Quest was like another one of those. But I thought about this last week when I was thinking about Blast from the Past, and then I was like, you know, I gotta look this game up because I couldn't remember. I knew it was Goblin's Quest, but I was looking for the original Goblin's Quest, and I couldn't find anything for the original Goblin's Quest. So I was like, everyone's posting about the third one. So I looked on YouTube. I looked at the third one, and after watching maybe like 5 or 6 videos, like of different parts of the game, finally I was like, this is it. This like I remember it finally. Like
Right.
I remember this puzzle, I remember that puzzle, and I was watching it. And I was like, holy crap! I played this when I was 8 years old. How the hell did I figure this game out?
Right.
Like you gotta watch how difficult this
Yeah.
game was. Like the leaps in logic that you had to make. I had to just completely guess out my ass when I was playing this game because it's just ridiculous.
Dad, do this for me.
Yeah, I mean, you played it too.
What was the name of the one with the cake?
The one with the cake.
Portal?
Yeah, Portal. It's,
No, it was like the haunted
You mean
house.
oh, that was Seventh Gas.
Seventh
Yeah,
Gas.
Yeah, there was a lot of those real classic PC, like point and click adventures back then. But Sierra did a huge amount.
I did. I'm trying to remember.
Mist, man. Mist was the
Mist.
truth.
That was
Okay.
Sierra.
No, that was.
Yeah, that was
No,
Sierra,
no.
but that was the game.
Oh, then what did Sierra do that I would know? Because I didn't play many point and click adventures when I was
I
younger.
don't know. The big ones I remember were the King's Quest series, which
I do.
went up to like 8, and then Goblin's Quest, I think, which went up to 3 or 4.
The weird thing is, like, I remember Sierra, and I remember even the way I just described how their logo looked. I just don't know why I know.
They're a well-known company, and they didn't like. They were still around for a while. Like I think they had a part in a game, maybe like last generation, maybe 4 years into the generation. But you rarely see them anymore.
Yeah.
Like to the point where they probably shut down last generation along with the
we
whole
didn't know
other
about it.
slew.
We just forgot to look at it.
But I was thinking about it because of Gone Home, and Gone Home kind of brought me back to that feeling of the old point-and-click adventures, and I was like, oh man, Goblin's Quest, like that was the best back in the day. I bet I watch it now, and it's like, I bet it's so bad, like I bet it's like so simple, like those
really
old math like games that you played when you were a kid, and then I watched it.
Well,
and I was
that's why I
holy
thought
crap.
about Mist. Like, I played it when I was really young. Like, how old were we when this came out? We were like 6 or 7.
Yeah, we were young.
And then I tried playing it, and God knows we could actually get through that.
You made it to the rocket, and then you stopped.
I made it to all the different. I made it to all the different worlds.
Yeah.
Every single world. I went to the rocket world, the tree world, the underwater world.
Yeah.
I got to all of them. but fuck if I didn't know what to do after that.
I just
So I was like, and then they brought it out for the DS. I don't know if you knew that. They brought it out for the DS.
And
I was like, all right, sweet. So I'm now 17 years old. I can fucking do this.
Yeah.
I couldn't even get back to those worlds I got to in the first place.
Yeah.
So I'm really annoyed at this game.
We're not even talking about Goblin's Quest anymore, but this kind of started.
Sorry, it's alright.
But no, it's the truth. Like the one thing I remember I missed is with the puzzle in the rocket was the one where you had you opened it up and there was like a piano.
With you had to play the right
2 or 3 levels to the piano with a ton of keys.
It was so
and
difficult.
all you had were like sounds. Like you had to mash up the sound that was playing with a key. And you had to get like all 3 of them perfect. You had to get them all, or it didn't work.
Yeah.
And that was back in like before you had a lot of the facts and whatnot that you had. Now they have
Cheat CC.
Yeah, this was before that.
No, you couldn't cheat. That was the beauty of it. You
had to probably buy like a strategy guide.
Yeah, you had to.
Would you want games to be like that again now, though?
Yes.
A lot of things seem to kind of hold your hands, and if you can't figure out
what's
something to do in like 5 minutes, something like pops up, and it's like, hey, here's a little hint.
Yeah, he's right.
The way I work now is I usually give it like 30 minutes. If I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to actually dislike the game,
well, okay, yeah, there's a difference.
Then it's like I don't want to start disliking the game.
If you have to, see, like I'll give it a couple days. Actually, serious. I'm dead serious. I'll give it a couple days. I'll play it. If I get really bored, I'll give it like a half hour. If I get really bored, I'll stop playing. I'll come back to it. I'll go back to it again, and I'll do that. And if I'm still at the point where I'm like frustrated, and there's very rare times where that actually happens. But now the biggest problem we have is like. Remember cheat codes is my biggest issue?
Yeah.
Like, before in the day, like, let's say Saints Row, for instance. Let's just bring that up.
Yeah.
In a game like Saints Row, you could put a cheat code and everybody can have clown faces. You know, or you can put, I'm just saying, that's what you can do. Sure. You can put a cheat code in, everybody would be fat, have clown faces, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, now we have to pay for the clown faces. Instead of having a code that we can put in, now we have to pay $1 for a clown face. Or we have to pay $1 to let everybody.
Yeah, they don't want to give anything away anymore, really. It's rare. You'll see it here and there, but it doesn't happen often.
Damn, monopolies.
The thing is, like, I'm saying 30 minutes, but that's under certain situations. If it's a game where the entire point is puzzles, like, say, for instance, Portal, I wasn't going to look up the solutions to Portal. The whole point of that game is figuring it out. So, yeah, I was like, no way am I looking this up. But if it's a game like, I don't know, God of War, maybe, where it's like a stupid little thing.
You really get stuck at God of War?
Yeah, there's a few things here and there where you might get like a puzzle where it's like, this is taking me 30 minutes. I just want to get back into the action. You know what I mean? Like, that game's much more...
Stop fucking with the sign.
It's much more an action game than it is a puzzle game. So in that case... 30 minutes might make me go like, all right, I'm getting tired of this. Like, I don't want this to affect my enjoyment of the game. So I'll look up the solution. But anyway, I don't think there's any way to really go back and play these.
Goblin's Quest.
Look it up on YouTube. There's some Let's Plays of people that play it.
Same thing. I want to do that with what did I talk about? Freaking Grim Fandango.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that when I get.
It'd be cool if you could replay those.
I'm gonna really go back.
Games aren't difficult like they were. Like Demon's Souls.
Not really. Demon's Souls one of the callbacks to that.
Yeah, like that's like difficult gaming now.
That's why it took off, I think.
The thing is. Demon's Souls, it was kind of hard. Dark Souls 2 was a little hard, but it wasn't so much they were difficult.
You're not hearing about a little hard. There were people that ate their controllers.
People were freaking out. It's not. It was ruthless. It wouldn't give you like checkpoints. If you don't save at a bonfire or something, you lose a lot of progress. If you die trying to get back to your souls, you lose those souls. It's not difficult in the sense that it's utterly like, oh, this is crazy. I mean, people do speed runs. It's not impossible.
What's frustrating about some of the older games is that a lot of them didn't have save systems.
Right.
Like, you'd be in there 3.5 hours in, and there's always that one part that you can't get by. And if you want to have multiple tries at that really difficult part, you're playing from the beginning again.
Right.
Yeah. You made it to the final boss and you die. It's like, all right, let's try this again. Like 3 hours.
Thank you for joining us.
Hey, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. That's actually not too far from us.
Right.
But welcome. We are the Level Up Show, and we're a gaming-dedicated discussion. And this week we're going to talk about CES is a big one, but there's a lot of news this week. And we're also giving away 2 games this week, $65 in games to be exact. So stay tuned, and we'll be giving that away towards the end of the show.
Can I just say that that's actually why I stopped playing Pokemon for the longest time? I actually went through the game. I started playing, and I played for like 4.5, 5 hours one day. I beat like 3 gym leaders, and I forgot to save ever.
Yeah.
And my DS died in my hands, and my DS died, so I just shut off, and I'm like, I did that like freak, like no. Katie's sitting on the couch. She just looked over at me. She was like, "What the hell's going on?"
That was like me just like 22-hour Final Fantasy X save. With
my god,
beautiful Joe Bug.
Did you ever hear about? Yeah, well, Pat had that with Kingdom Hearts. He was at Maleficent.
Yeah,
he was at Maleficent,
yeah,
and it just wiped his entire memory card.
If you guys, I don't know if anyone here remembers that there was a demo disc that came with PlayStation back in the day. It was the Beautiful Joe.
Awesome.
It was the Beautiful Joe demo disc. It came with like official PlayStation magazine, and the moment you put it into your disc drive, it completely erased your memory card.
Are you for real?
Yeah.
You didn't know about that?
It was a huge deal.
It didn't happen to a lot of people, but it happened enough to where it was really bad. Pat was actually at like one of the last bosses of Kingdom Hearts. He put like 45 hours, and the funny thing about that too was he was on one area. He was on like the underworld part because there was just something really obvious that he was just overlooking. He was on it for 3.5, 4 weeks. He couldn't figure it out. He kept bitching about it. I finally came over to his house, and I found it instantly because I wasn't looking in the way he was. You know, it was just the extra eyes. So he finally got past that. He got all excited for it again, and then that's when that happened.
All I can say is that fortunately,
he was pissed.
It was like 2002 when it happened, so at least it was early in the PS2 life cycle. You didn't lose like a ton of games.
Oh yeah.
But
Mike, you'll think this is funny. I've never told you this story. Do you know Mike Medardi?
Don't talk about this now.
I wouldn't say his full name, but
yes, okay.
But anyway, he was playing Halo 2, and he was so frustrated with the game that he literally walked up to his console, pressed the eject button, waited for the disc to come out, took the disc out, and snapped it into.
Well, did you hear what happened with Pat's roommate the one time? He was playing Grand Theft Auto 4 when it came out, and there was a mission he was on. He kept doing it over and over again. This kid was also crazy as anyway. And he goes up, and he literally does the same thing, but he goes up, and instead of doing that, Pat watched him actually go over there, hit the eject button, take it out, bite it,
he bit it,
and then threw it across the room. I'm like, that kid is fucking unbalanced.
Don't do that.
Our cousin-in-law literally took his Xbox and threw it against the wall.
It's really bad that when Aunt started telling a story, I was really afraid that it was going to have something to do with something we should be talking about on the show.
Probably.
No, it's completely game related.
Is that a legitimate fear?
Welcome, the Joker. If you haven't joined us before, hi. We are the Level Up Show, and we are a gaming dedicated discussion. To X-Soil, who's asking if we played the Soul games.
Angry today.
I don't think Mike has played any of the Souls games, but
I haven't yet.
I played a little bit of Demon Souls.
Yeah, I brought it back. You didn't want it.
No, I thought you were. I kept saying that I was actually thinking about playing it. Because I was looking around.
I'll give it to you. I
actually freaked out because I'm like sitting there, and he brought it over the night we had the retro night.
Yeah.
And I kept saying like I don't want to break my controller. And he kept saying no, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. So I was like, all right, maybe I'll give it a shot. And I looked around for it. I was like, shit, I can't find it. So I'm sitting here literally for the last 2 weeks thinking that I lost your fucking game. You fucking shitbag.
I didn't leave it there. You didn't leave it.
I know you didn't. You told me that just now. For the past 2 weeks, I thought you did, and I was looking over my whole house.
You didn't ask.
God damn it.
Who predicts?
Say, like, by the way,
I predict.
By the way, I took my
He will stick around.
Tanking.
Yeah, but to Who Predicts, welcome. We are the Level Up Show, our gaming dedicated discussion. We're just about to get into the big news stories of the week. Let's start off with some smaller ones, because then maybe we can get up to like 50 people in here by the time that we get to the big stuff.
Woo!
That would be
predicting some big numbers there.
Yeah, predicting some big numbers for us. Let me find my list here. Okay.
Predict. Like, how many times did you say that?
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm gonna try and dodge all like the CES stuff and start off with some other stuff. All right, let's start off with this. Square Enix Montreal announced that there was a next generation Hitman in development.
And
but
really?
Right, yeah.
Then it was canceled.
Yep. Well, no, they actually. I don't know if you knew this. It actually was not.
Hey, Brenda. You got Brenda back.
We're actually using. We're on a first name basis. Cool. We're on a first name basis.
Bree, sorry.
All right, Bree, Mark. Right? You're not supposed to speak for a while.
I'm supposed to speak for a while.
According to Excel.
What am I supposed to talk about?
Talk about Demon Souls and Dark Souls.
Dark Souls. I don't know. I'm excited for Dark Souls 2 a little bit. Actually, that's a lie. I'm really excited for Dark Souls 2. I'm hoping that they fix a lot of the netcode issues because there were so many problems in just connecting with other people in Demon Souls.
Yeah.
And then even Dark Souls, it was kind of sketchy. But yeah, it's a very different kind of multiplayer experience that you don't get with any other game. And as long as they can make it like more fluid, and as long as they get rid of all of the just blatant stat abusing all over the place, like just stacking poise and running like magic and ridiculous imbalances in the gameplay, which got really out of hand.
What kind of multiplayer is that called? They didn't start, but they definitely kind of spearheaded it a little bit. It's like asynchronous. Is that would be the word?
I guess that's the most apt description of it.
It's kind of like Journey in a sense, where you don't connect with the person directly, but
you can, but it's really roundabout and really difficult. And I've spent like an hour trying to get onto the same server with a friend, and it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
So
it has like Battlefield.
Oh wow, we had a little bit of a jump. Yay. Okay, 33 people. To the people that just came in, we are the Level Up Show. We're a gaming dedicated discussion. Mark, why don't you put our Twitter, our Facebook, our Blogspot up on there? There's a lot of ways you can connect with us. We're on every Saturday at 10.
And
so hopefully you guys stick around because we're giving away a few giving away a few games at the end of the show, like $65 in games. So please stick around.
Cool.
All right, so that was we were just saying next gen Hitman.
So anyway, it wasn't actually canceled. Did you actually see the revised statement?
No,
that wasn't. It was actually a misinterpretation of the words. It's not their main focus, is what they're saying.
Okay, so they kind of put it to the side.
But it's planned. I mean,
it's on hiatus.
It's hiatus. I mean, it's Hitman. It's probably not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, so it's definitely going to be developed. I think what they were saying was, we're saying it's going to come. We have nothing planned for doing this right now. No Titanfall for PS4 thoughts.
It's disappointing.
It's very disappointing.
But hopefully the second one comes.
Yeah. I don't know if you know about this. The developer. I mean, both the developers were not, on board with this being an exclusive title. Both Westons and Pella, basically have come out and said that they didn't know that was the plan. So I don't think that they're going to be very keen if they find out.
I think the assumption was on like our part that it was going to be like a 6-month to 1 year exclusivity deal with Microsoft, and then of course Microsoft saw the hype that was growing behind the title,
threw more money,
and they threw more money. Yeah.
So
not sure how that exists because I can't look at it, but I'm sure it's good. Diane Babushis. Diane Babushis. Woo! I have a feeling that if you say that a certain way,
very Russian.
I have a feeling if you say it a certain way, it says something dirty that you wouldn't realize. Diane Babushis.
Diane Babush.
All right, but that's a really cool name. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching us again. So anyway. Good. At least it's coming at some point. It's not canceled.
It's not going to cancel. For those of you that are fans of the Hitman series, I'll be honest with you, I never got to play a lot of it. I only got to play bits and pieces and everything like that when I borrowed it. But it's fun. So I can imagine what it's going to be able to do on the next gen.
I have a feeling the hiatus has a lot to do with their expectations for Hitman Absolution being way too high.
Their expectations for every one of their games lately has been way too high.
That comes back later on. Let's stop there because there's actually another story later on that kind of calls back to that. All right, so there's been a little bit of infamous Second Son news. I know a lot of people are excited for that game, especially on PS4, and a lot of people have been questioning, is the morality still there? Because they haven't really shown that at all.
Yeah, they haven't said anything about it. All you saw was the neon chick, and he flies in the air.
You take powers. That's like the big new thing, in that you're kind of like a Peter from Heroes, in that you take powers from other people.
Good analogy.
Well, who's a Heroes fan? The first season, at least.
Yeah. Even the last season was really good.
I stopped after.
Did you really? You need to watch it. It's actually good.
I heard it got better, but
it got much better, and I was actually really disappointed when I found out it was done. So,
all right, let's stop for a second and acknowledge this question. Hi, Joe Ranko. What do you think about PlanetSide 2 for PS4? I think it's pretty cool that they're doing possibly one subscription for DCUO. For PlanetSide and for EverQuest next. $15 for all three, and possibly even more than that.
And basically any of their titles. They don't have a lot. They have a lot of ones that we don't actually pay attention to.
Yeah.
We'll be honest. We're not big on the MMO side.
But I think they're going to be big on PS4.
Yeah, they're definitely going to take off on the PS4. I think the PS4 being more of like a PC. I'd say with the Xbox One being more PC style consoles, then it's gonna be great.
I'm sure you want to answer this. What about DayZ?
Oh, I am so all about this. I am all over it. Every video I've seen go up is just absolutely either intriguing or at least very entertaining. Some of them hilarious.
You went into a big discussion about the robberies that were happening.
The robberies are so, and that's like half of what DayZ, and it's hilarious. Like some of them, like I told you the one I told that story the other week.
If you haven't seen it, check out what do you want to call it? The gentleman being robbed on Daisy.
It was the nicest. I'll tell you right now, if you don't get Stockholm syndrome, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
This guy was the nicest robber I've ever met I've ever seen in that game.
There's a lot of cool stuff happening organically in that game. So check it out.
Yeah, it's definitely really cool. So I'm dying to see if that does come. Yeah, that would be a phenomenal thing to add to the console. So,
but I was about to say that you don't have to worry if you like the morality in Second Son, because they've confirmed that there is still a very deep morality tree.
Yes.
In Infamous, it sounds like it's going to be a little bit deeper than the first and second game,
where going to make more of an impact.
Really ties into your powers. I hear big time, more so than before, but also into obviously the outcome of the game,
which is good because like the one issue I had. So remember in the Infamous 2, one of the cool things is, you and I both only play really the good side, and then we usually go back and play the bad side.
Yeah.
You know, so that tornado, you can't really use that unless you're evil, because you'll just destroy everybody.
The most powerful move in both games, Infamous 1 and 2, I think, was on the evil side.
Yeah, and it was. And understandably so, but at the same time, you could have that move in the second one even if you weren't evil. You can have the tornado.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? You can use the tornado if you were good, but you couldn't use it if you were good because you'll just kill everybody.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you rack it up.
Well, that's kind of the point, is the villain moves are much more bombastic, and like you can't help but kill people around you.
Right, but I'm saying, did you ever play Jedi Knight Dark Forces by any chance? They actually, for the PC, I played the shit out of that game. I even played it online. I was like one of the first plays that...
Hey, Flux Fusion, welcome.
How's it going? And whatever side, if you went to the dark side or to the light side, you had certain powers, obviously. So if you went to the dark side, you have like electric force, and then if you go to the light side, you have force jump, so you jump higher. But your choices were dependent on if you were good or bad, and that's what they really should bring to. I'm hoping they bring to the Infamous thing.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm happy about that. I hope it's really deep this time around and gives you a lot of choices that affect the outcome of the game. But from there, what do we got? Okay, here we go. This is kind of related to what we were talking about with Hitman. Ubisoft expected Splinter Cell Blacklist to sell 5 million copies. How much do you think that it sold?
1.
More than that.
2?
2, yeah.
Okay.
2.
I'm good with that.
Which is not a bad number.
I'm good with 1.
Yeah.
I'm even better with 2. It was a great game. It came out of nowhere. The Splinter Cell series was dying for years.
Yeah.
Every year each game got progressively, slightly worse and progressively less, popular. No one really cared. Out of nowhere, Blacklist came out, and everyone was like, "Oh yeah, I remember Splinter Cell. The game used to be good." Anytime you said to anybody, they would, "Oh yeah, I used to play that game." And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it did phenomenal. What did it get? Like an average, like a 9.
It did much better than people were expecting,
and it got on my top 3 for the year because the added, different features to the game just, pushed it over the, over what I expected.
People were so worried because it was taking a little bit of a backseat to the stealth. It's still there, but they gave you more of an opportunity to go run and gun.
Here's the thing, and I don't know why it would get. I didn't actually see that. So if they gave that flag, I'm actually going to want to slap each one of those people in the face.
They did back then.
You can actually go into it and what was that?
She's just saying we're up to 51, which means that we should probably let people know that we're the Level Up Show. We're a gaming dedicated discussion stream, and we'll talk news. We'll talk what we're currently playing. We'll talk with you guys, let you guys call in and tell us what you're playing, what you think about the big news stories of the week.
Which we're going to do shortly.
Yeah, we're talking about CES is a big one, but that's later on in the show.
Even better, tonight we have giveaways. We have good giveaways. We have 2 really big ones. It's going to total $65.
We might have just lost everyone.
No,
hopefully not.
It's okay. So we have giveaways totaling up to $65.
Yeah.
So keep with us. We're going to give them at the end of the show.
But the big thing I want to discuss behind this story about Ubisoft expecting 5 million is that.
Right.
Why are the expectations so high?
Right, and same thing with Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tomb Raider was the same thing with Square Enix.
Like 8 million.
Yeah, they were expecting. All these companies are expecting these huge numbers,
and it sold like 6 million, which is a
where
huge number.
are these coming from?
Yeah.
Where are your expectations coming from? And I don't know if they're expecting it to be like, oh, well, this is going to kill the popularity of Call of Duty or something like that. Yeah. Where are you getting these numbers that you're expecting?
I think they look at the generation. They saw that they were in the 7th year of it. They saw that there was, 160 million
They probably
consoles.
just went off the amount of consoles that were sold and said this is the amount that we need to sell. And I don't think they realize that you really have to have an established...
The market is so saturated.
Right.
There's so much there to play, and you can't expect your game... It's rare. You're not going to be Call of Duty. That is Call of Duty. That's Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto. Those are the only 2 that really get above 20 million in sales. I can't think of anything else.
No.
Right?
No, I mean Grand Theft Auto did.
That's what I'm saying. Grand Theft Auto and Call of Duty. That's it.
Battlefield.
I don't think it gets in the 20 million, does it?
I think it gets pretty up there, actually.
Okay, well that's awesome, but might not anymore after what happened recently, especially, and also Call of Duty. They're both kind of starting to tail off a little bit.
Skyrim Online does not exist, but Elder Scrolls Online will be freaking awesome.
That will be awesome.
That's what you're talking about, and I'm dying for that.
That's a whole other discussion that I think we might want to get into as a topic of the week later, is the idea behind, what do you want to call it, the economy in these games. We've talked a little bit about free-to-play. We talked about that, but about the idea of a full monthly subscription versus straight free-to-play.
Okay, we can talk
about it. I don't want to talk about it today, but I think that's something that's definitely worth a discussion.
I don't want to talk about it right now.
I'm just saying that's a really good. We have enough to talk
for
about.
another time.
We have enough.
Let's ignore that.
Right. Just ignore it. Don't even pretend I didn't say anything.
I'm just gonna put a pin in it.
Put a pin in it.
Just put a pin in it right there.
It's gonna come back later for anyone who cares.
Oh my god.
All right, so
podcast supposed to be hilarious.
Yeah.
So we need developers to get a little bit more realistic. Is all I'm thinking.
Stop being
2 million is not a bad number. 5 million is especially not a bad number.
Right.
Get your expectations in check.
8 million is not what should be expected out of a game that is a reboot.
Yeah.
They are both reboots.
And the worst thing,
not developers dictating these numbers.
It's the publishers.
It's the
publishers. You're right. You said developers. I knew what you meant. He knew what you meant, but I think you just want to clarify.
And the owners, and Mark's right, the owners.
We need some raising hands.
Do the Cinnamon Challenge.
We need some raising hands. We're going crazy over here. Okay, let's move on from that topic. Let's move on to Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes. This typically wouldn't be seen as a big story. All that came out about it, wow, that turned out really well. What do you guys know about MGS Ground Zeroes?
Pretty convenient.
We're just about to talk about it right now.
What a great segue.
The news that came out for MGS Ground Zeroes this week wouldn't normally be considered big, but it was rated mature by the ESRB. But one of the descriptions for why it was rated mature is a big deal. It has what's called sexual violence, which I think most people know what that means.
You didn't hear about this yet, did you?
No.
What does it even mean?
It pretty much means rape.
Yeah, it essentially means that let's rewind. He actually did ask what we know about Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes. What? Yes, Kristen.
Does it mean that book?
What book?
50 Shades of Grey.
It could, but I don't think so.
I thought she was talking about the Burn book. I'm like, what the fuck?
What does
That's
that
like domination.
Mean Girls? Why are we going with this show today? All right.
All over the place.
Buzz today.
Let's give a little bit of some base work here for Ground Zeroes. Go ahead. Say what you know.
The chick, and that was the biggest,
Her name is Quiet.
Quiet, right. And I think this is actually going to explain her nickname,
yes,
in a sense. From what I understand, so if those of you that were not paying attention to any Metal Gear Solid 5 news at all, whether it's Ground Zeroes or Phantom Pain, one of the biggest things that have been talked about is this over-sexualized chick with these huge this huge rack.
It's more that she's showing them off.
And she's showing them off the whole time. And so it was overly, discussed and everything like that. And so Ground Zeroes, I believe, with this rating, and I think me and you are in complete agreement, this is actually just going to show why she has the name of Quiet. And the sexualized violence is going to show why she is the way she is.
Well, first of all, the thing that was the bigger deal with Quiet is that she was already shown off at the very beginning as a sexualized character, and then she was redesigned to become even more sexual.
Right.
They actually changed her clothing to become even more exaggerated in how sexual it was. And everyone's like, why? Why isn't this enough already that she's got a bra on and she's a sniper? What the hell is even the point of that? And then they give her like fishnet stockings. It's like, it's just really like, why? And then that was one big deal. But he keeps saying, there's a reason for this, guys. There's a reason I'm making her so sexual. There is a theme behind this, or a message, or something. I've got to imagine that there's going to be a lot to this rape. Either she's going to be raped into a mute state, or they're going to torture her, or they cut out her tongue, rape her. There's going to be a lot of messed up stuff.
Regardless, this mature rating for sexual violence is going to be one of the first. It's going to be one of the first of its kind.
It's the second game of a mature title that's ever had sexual violence.
What was the other game that had it?
I'm not sure what the other game is, but typically that gets you into adult only.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. Usually you don't see this released in popular places like Best Buys and Call of Duty. Like
this is an incredibly dark conversation.
Right.
But the thing is, the reason I think that they're getting away with it a little bit is because you're not going to see the sexual violence.
No, it's basically...
It's an audio thing where you hear clothes ripping and screaming, and I hear it's pretty graphic, but it's here. You're not seeing
talking about this. Can we get off the top subject? This is really
and there's also a lot of other stuff. That's not the only reason it's really mature.
Right. Anyway.
There's a situation where you have to remove like a device from a child's stomach where you have to cut him open and take out his intestines.
I didn't hear about this part.
There's child killing because of child soldiers. There's a lot of really dark, mature stuff in this game.
We just scared X-Will.
Yes. You should be scared.
Pretty dark conversation.
Yeah. Metal Gear Solid 5, Phantom Pain, Ground Zeroes sounds like it's going to be very, very dark, and it's going to be
mature.
It's going to be about the turn here. This is really Big Boss turning into a villain.
And
you saw it almost already with Portable Ops and Peace Walker, but this is him going over the deep end. I think that he kills kids in this game. I think this is really going to mess him up, this game, and you're going to see why he becomes so evil.
I think this might be one of the first ones actually playing complete.
Yeah, I love
$30.
Well, $40
$40, sorry, $40.
Which I think is ridiculous, but we'll see. If it's only 3 hours, that's
really? That's all how it is?
Well, we don't know yet. That's the thing. It's a prologue.
Right.
It's a prologue, and if we're talking about like a prologue similar to Metal Gear Solid 2, that's like 3 hours.
Right.
I'm really hoping that there's a lot more meat to this than just that.
It could be. I mean, you gotta remember it this way. Prologue being 3 hours is in relevance. Relevance.
It's really random.
To what a game being normally 7-8 hours.
Yeah.
But Metal Gear Solid games are normally 20 hours.
Yeah, about 20.
So when you then think it would be like a 6-hour game then?
Well, what's really funny about this, and I don't see anyone making this joke, but they really should be, is this was announced at $40, and then not too long later, they're like, Phantom Pain has 300 times the content of Ground Zeroes, and I was like, all right, hold on a second, let me do the math here. Are you saying that we're going to pay $1,200 for Phantom Pain? Because I feel like that's what you're telling me.
Right.
Like, you shouldn't announce that your game is $40 and then announce the later, like,
do you have your
successor to that?
Do you have your PlayStation account tied to your...
To what?
To your phone?
Yes, I do. But yeah, that tells me that there's a lot less content in Ground Zeroes. That doesn't tell me that there's a ton of content in Phantom Pain.
Right.
That tells me that there's not a lot of content in Ground Zeroes,
no, I agree
which
with
you're
you.
charging us $40 for.
Yeah.
So bad choice of words there. I think that was bad PR.
So.
Okay, moving on from that. We were talking about Don't Starve earlier, really quick. Might hit the PS Vita as well.
Oh yeah.
Great game for the Vita. I can say that because I played remote play with it, which
it works really fun.
Yeah, did you watch the stream?
I didn't watch any of them. I've been with Danny. So.
Yeah, because I talked about it. It's really cool. I didn't know the Vita could do this or that they planned for this, but it completely remaps your controller configuration to the point where the way it shows the bottom of the screen with what each button does, it actually changes those buttons on the screen for you. It's almost like it changes its visuals around being played on the Vita.
On the Vita, just because it knows that's on the Vita. And I'm thinking that's actually
really cool.
one of the pieces of technology that's in the PS4 that's actually...
So when it's put on Vita, it actually changes the visuals of the game, not just the controller, like the map of the controller, but the visuals. So this could show some cool things for the future, maybe. If they can do that by making it, suddenly on remote play, what else can they change? What can they add visually because it's on the Vita? Can they change the aspect ratio? Can they make it so some things are larger since we have a much smaller screen real estate? So I just thought that was kind of neat. So it might come to PS Vita.
Cool. Here, I'll get where we're
Yes, I am studying. Sorry, that was
So.
lame.
Cool.
Okay.
We're going to... all right. So we talked about this actually about a week or so ago. Thrown Together.
Yeah.
We finally
Which is spelled like Game of Thrones.
right. It's Throne, THRONE. Again, that's awesome.
The guy from Sons of Anarchy, he gets it every week.
Did you realize that
found him?
he has his own little thing that he didn't even know he had? Like, you're trying to do yours, I guess I'm trying
You didn't have to do anything.
You didn't have to do anything, and you're getting
I
this.
look like the guy from Sons of Anarchy. I'm the guy from Sons of Anarchy.
Now, do you take that as a compliment?
Sure.
Yeah, what's his name?
Actually, I mean, he's our guy.
Charlie Hunnam here.
I guess.
So, anyway, Thrown Together. It's for the Xbox. It's not for the Xbox. It's for Windows 8. It's for the computers. We have no idea still what it's going to be, really. But it's not really exciting.
Yeah, not exciting anymore.
Not nearly as exciting as we were hoping it might have been.
Not at all. But also from Microsoft, this Microsoft Studios boss, I think it might be Witten or something like that, he did a small interview where he came out and said Sony did a really nice job with the PS4. Not only that, he said, this is a quote here,
Right.
When I think about their announcement, their clear focus on a customer, leading with a value proposition of what they're trying to do, staying true to a vision, I think they've done a nice job in how they defined the PS4. So what he's kind of saying there, a little bit, I feel, is that he feels like they didn't do a very nice job when it came to sticking to a vision.
Sticking to their guns.
Yeah.
They didn't. And I mean, let's be realistic. They fucking flip-flopped all over the place. Like I've never seen someone go so back and forth.
Yep.
You know, than Microsoft right around E3.
I guess at least they know it, right?
Right, and I mean, this needs to be something that they need to learn from. You know, and we'll wait to see what happens. So,
let me acknowledge that Rob asked 89, awesome name. Are you having Wi-Fi problems with PS4? I don't think that I am. First of all, I have a wired connection. Are you asking that because you're having trouble viewing us? Let us know.
Yeah.
Thanks. All right, so moving on to the next subject.
Thanks, hey. Good for you.
You know, Pirate is saying that he has Wi-Fi problems.
Huh.
Well, that's relatively unfortunate.
Okay, well that stinks. I'm wired and I'm having no issues. I'm getting a pretty good download and upload speed. I'm getting like 30 down, 5 up or something like that. It's pretty good. So next, this is kind of disappointing for people that loved these games from the past. Turok 2 was a game in development for PS3 and 360. It was recently canceled.
Yeah.
Do you remember Turok?
Yeah. Here's the thing. Do you remember Turok for the 360?
Yes, I did.
And it was fucking awful.
It was. I know.
Now Turok for N64 was great,
but there really are not enough dinosaur games anymore.
I feel like there's really not enough dinosaur games. Period.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty Richie.
Well, that was for something else, I think, that you're talking about.
You're talking about PlayStation Now, and we're going to talk about that. Don't worry, we're going to give you all of the PlayStation Now information that you can possibly swallow later on.
And then some.
That sounded weird. We're moving on. All right.
This conversation today is going all over the place. I'm loving it.
Okay.
All right.
2K is not renewing their MLB license for 2014. Do you know what this means?
That MLB The Show is the dominant baseball game on the market.
They own
you know what that means? That is like being the smartest kid on all the short fucking buses around.
Well, no, let's not say that because even though they're the only one
does sell a decent amount,
and they've always been the best one.
But they've always been the best, so it's actually a pretty outstanding, accomplishment.
That is the epitome of baseball titles ever, really.
Right?
Like better than Ken Griffey Jr. All-Star Baseball on N64. Like, let's be honest, which was pretty damn good. That had an amazing home run derby, but it did. But just trust me, MLB The Show. If you haven't played, if you're not into sports titles at all, like I am, that is one of the few sports games that I actually have bought and played because it's that good. And I can't wait to see what it looks like on PS4. That is going to be a beautiful game. So yeah, if you want a baseball game, you have to go to MLB The Show, but that's not a bad thing. All right, moving on. Alien Isolation revealed for 360, PS3, PS4, Xbox One, PC,
but not Wii U.
Whoa, no Wii U, no.
Right, because originally it was supposed to be.
Yes.
Well, because they messed up and didn't say it, but not Wii U.
A lot of people were like, "Oh, maybe it's coming to Wii U."
We actually did say that. I said I was surprised that it was not on the Wii U.
Yeah, I thought they would put it there. Why not? But if it's on PS3 and 360, which is last gen, there's no reason you can't put it on the Wii U.
Besides, they don't want to.
Besides that, they don't think.
Can I actually go out to say that I know we have a lot of people, especially Ghost, who's not actually here, so he's not going to bitch at me for dissing Nintendo again. But goddamn, is their friend request fucking situation so abysmal? Now they have a 2DS. Do you know? Like, I literally didn't know that I didn't have my thing set up to accept friend requests until someone else showed me that I had to go through like 18 different settings in the freaking menu. So god damn it, Nintendo.
I'm gonna take a few of these questions. There are no words on the next Fight Night game. That was a great early title for PS3.
It wasn't even early. They created a bunch of games for it, and the last one was Fight Night Champions, I think, which was
but there is an MMA title. If you're looking for something kind of in that vein, EA is doing an MMA title.
Fight is not the same as MMA.
No, not at all.
So it's not the same. I mean, it'll quell your bloodthirst,
maybe,
but not as in the same way as Fight Night would.
I think that's like maybe in a few months, like MMA, I think. And then Drive Club.
Drive Club will be.
Oh, man, Drive Club looks.
That's something me and you were talking about for a while when it was first announced.
Yeah,
how we were really excited for that. I'm not big on racing games.
No, me either.
Yeah, neither of us are actually. Yeah, now that I think of it.
But I can't deny that the visuals are just
gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Plus that connectivity and the fact that we're going to be able to play. We have to rely on each other in order to play the right way.
And I respect so much the delay and how much the delay has improved the game.
Oh my god, did you see it?
It's beautiful.
It's gorgeous now.
Yeah,
and it's funny because it looked phenomenal when we first saw it, and now it looks even better. So I don't know, if there's a before and after thing, but it's looking great.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what that looks like. Final,
the fact that
version.
I mean, even just the slightest thing of I can literally go on the Drive Club app out somewhere, challenge somebody to a course later on. Yeah. So when they get home, they can play that. It's gonna be
it's gonna be a cool game. I really think that's gonna be the big racer, like more than like a lot of those Gran Turismo guys that are stuck on 6 or PS3.
I think it's going to be. I don't think Gran Turismo is going to be around for very long. Gran Turismo 6 is not done very well.
Not as well as it should have done. No, I think they thought that they were again at the end of a life cycle. They thought they were going to grab all those PS3 viewers or gamers, but people want next gen now, especially with a game like Gran Turismo. People are ready for that.
I think you put this in your news to Deadpool, Division being delayed. We're going to talk about that.
Yep, just about to get to that pretty soon, I think.
Yeah. Well, why don't we just do it right now because we already brought it up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's go to it. The Division. I've said it how many times?
Not for sure delete. This is a rumor.
All right, fine. It's a rumor, but I've said it how many times? I think every time it's been brought up, it's probably going to come out in 2015. It has now been stated that it's most likely going to come out in 2015.
I think the story is that like someone who actually works on the game, a developer or something, maybe a small developer on the game, said like, yeah, we have the engine, it's good, but that's it. Like we really haven't started anything else on this game. Like, and he actually kind of said like it's ridiculous that they even like
showed off that much. Right.
Yeah, it kind of made people think that it's 2014 because we haven't gotten anywhere with this game.
Right.
So it sounds like he's saying no way is it coming out.
I'm telling you right now, either summer or most likely like early fall 2015. Mm-hmm. So.
Sin City is waiting for a non-JRPG. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm guessing you're waiting for something.
For a non-JRPG for PS4. So something that's not like Final Fantasy.
Okay,
so something like from the West.
Maybe you could look forward to Fallout. That there's still potential for that to be this year, but I doubt it.
No, it's not going to be.
I doubt it.
Not for the PS4, probably.
No, I don't think it'll be coming out on anything this year.
I don't think there's any RPGs slated for the PS4 or even the Xbox One as of right this moment. Besides.
Either.
No, it's probably going to be 2015 as well.
If you're still on PS3 and 360, Dark Souls 2 is a big one. That is technically a JRPG, but doesn't at all feel like one. I don't think. Would you agree with that, Mark?
What?
It doesn't really feel like a JRPG. Dark Souls.
He doesn't want a JRPG.
No.
He wants a non-JRPG style RPG.
That's what I'm saying. I think Dark Souls doesn't really feel like a JRPG.
Not at all. I mean, honestly, if you didn't say it was made by From Software, I would honestly think it was made by a Western developer. Outside of all the like English language translation problems they have with on releases.
We have 3 things I want to touch on real quick. Something about Division being a rumor. It's not a rumor. It's definitely a game. It's coming out. It's just not known when it's going to come out. Is Destiny going to put away Borderlands? No. That's the dumbest thing. Borderlands is fucking not amazing, and I'm dying for that. Fuck you. I'm dying.
You're a little biased right now, but
I'm not biased at all. I just love the game. You're biased on Last of Us because you like it.
Well, no, but I'm just saying that you haven't even touched Destiny.
Right, but I'm dying for Destiny in the same way, but it's a completely different game.
Yeah, but I'm saying we have no idea if it's gonna take off.
Last of Us 2. Is there another Last of Us game coming? You think yes.
I think it'll come eventually. I think they're not working on it right now.
I don't think they're going to work on it. I'll tell you right now, it's not going to be the same characters. It's never going to. I think they said.
I agree with that. Yeah.
They're not doing the same characters. I'd be surprised if they do it again, but at the same time, I would not as surprised if they don't. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they're focused on Uncharted right now.
Yeah.
They came out and said that. They even said that they're so focused on Uncharted right now that they can't port Last of Us to PS4. So they're working on their engine for Uncharted. We'll just keep that in your mind right now. I hope they focus on that. Just keep focused on Uncharted, make it a great game, and then something else. She's asking if we want to introduce ourselves again.
We're up to 62 viewers now.
Yeah, I guess.
I'll let Mark put all of our information in the chat, but I'll just say that if you are joining us and you haven't before, we are the Level Up Show, as you can see. I'm Andrew. This is my co-host Mike, and you could call us. These 2 people here are producers.
Did you just rub yourself up against me?
Really
but this is
skinny.
My fiance Kristen. This is my brother Anthony. He's just kind of joining us tonight, and this is our other producer Mark. He's helping on the chat room. He's moderating.
I'm also from Sons of Anarchy.
Yes.
If you didn't know.
Yes, he is.
Apparently.
But
now it's not nearly as entertaining that you brought it to attention.
Yeah, just let it happen organically. Yeah. But we're a gaming dedicated stream, and we're going to talk all things gaming. We're going to talk about the news from the week. Thoughts on the PlayStation camera? Someone just asked.
Awesome, because that's the only reason why we're here right now.
It's more than just a camera. Obviously, it's the stuff that they've done in collaboration with that. It doesn't have the voice recognition and stuff of the Kinect, but what it is doing, I think I enjoy more than I would enjoy that. Yeah. So I really need a drink. So why don't you move on to the next thing?
All right. You completely screwed up the order.
Hey, talk to him like that, bully.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, you.
I hate you, Kristen. All right, so PES 2015 Pro Evolution Soccer confirmed for next
PS4.
For PS4.
The thing is, sorry, let me get back on screen here. What is interesting about that is that they said only PS4. They didn't say anything about Xbox One.
Which is weird, and I wonder if it's just like an oversight.
Maybe. The thing is, though, Pro Evolution Soccer is something that's always done really well on Sony platforms.
And believe it or not, it's actually a lot of people that are really true to soccer like it better than FIFA. FIFA is the most popular one there, because I mean it's FIFA. Everybody knows FIFA. It's fun, but Pro Evolution Soccer is technically, usually, from what I understand, a better game.
Yeah,
I haven't actually played Pro Evolution. I play FIFA here and there, but from what I understand, now that being said, it's also more difficult. It's more technical, so it's a little tougher. We had a bunch of retweets on Twitter.
Okay, great.
So thank you, anybody who's retweeting us. We appreciate it. But yeah, so that's pretty interesting topic. Honestly, I think it was just an oversight.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think it's going to be.
But more than anything, it's just exciting for a lot of soccer guys because like you said, there really are a lot of soccer guys that are not really for FIFA. They're for Pro Evolution Soccer,
right.
And a lot of people thought that they weren't going to enter into this generation for a long time, but it turns out that 2014 will have a Pro Evolution Soccer.
Yeah.
I think we got. I missed it. I think we had a good question there.
Evolved.
About Evolve. Like, that's another. Is that on here?
So
yeah, Mastermind did ask what your thoughts on Evolved, the co-op game coming.
I think it's just called Evolve. It's done by the guys that did Left 4 Dead.
Go for it.
But it was the Game Informer cover for this month. I have the digital copy of it, and what's really cool is that like the title implies, the monster that you fight in the game, it's almost like a rogue type game in that every time you kill it evolves and you have to start all over and try and kill it again.
Right.
But it just keeps getting bigger and more ferocious and more just insane with new powers that it can do, like fire breath and just and it's a really just vicious looking thing.
But keep in mind, it was by the same people that did the Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
So they're very good at getting this game that just fucks with you all the time.
Yeah.
So.
That's what it is. It's a 4-person co-op title where you have to work together to try and figure out this evolving creature and how you're going to kill it each time it gets stronger and bigger and more maybe intelligent. We'll say.
Yeah. We had 2 more things. We had one about Evil Within. I'm actually really looking forward to that myself.
Yeah.
I think I am more than you are.
Probably. Yeah.
That looks. He said it's going to be scarier than Dead Space. Yeah, I think it's going to be actually pretty freaky. We also had somebody that said something. Oh God, I missed it now. Let me look in the comments real quick. Something about Dying Light. Dying Light is actually like a mixture between Mirror's Edge and Dead Island.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was when I first heard about it and when we first saw the cool things that we heard about what the game's going to be. I was really psyched for it, and then I started seeing the gameplay, and it's Dead Island 2.5.
Yeah, I said this too, and I think on a show you weren't on. It's just not exciting.
It's not exciting me as much. And you know what? That's probably because we watched the same video. It's probably for the VGX when they did the gameplay reveal.
That was so disappointing.
And we were like, what the fuck is this? So,
thank you to everyone that's retweeting us. That's awesome.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate it.
Well, I think people are trying to help us out here just because we were having a slow night and people are trying to help us out.
Can I just bring attention to that? How we're all of a sudden at 70 people and we were fucking around, twiddling our thumbs for 30 minutes.
I'm glad that people are joining us. It makes this a little bit more enjoyable for us to know that we have a little bit of a discussion going. All right, so from there, let's see. This is big. I know this has kind of been a little bit not.
This was
skirted on the rug. It's okay. It sounds like it's going to be okay.
Right.
Titanfall. A lot of people are excited for it, for the online, obviously, because that's what it is.
Before we go into this, let's just say the capabilities of the new systems. You have Battlefield that has 64 players online.
Yeah.
It actually could go a little bit more than that, but they said they want to do only 64 because they felt that that's what the maps designed for the current gen systems could hold comfortably.
Yeah.
So that transitions into this. Now that being said, so that's 64 people they can hold. Titanfall,
6 versus 6.
12 people.
But we can't forget though that there's a lot of AI entities.
Right, and so it's not the game. So for those of you that only have heard about Titanfall and heard it being said, as being created by the guys that did Call of Duty, the game itself is a online single player game. It is not there is no single player story to it. Thank you. Yeah, we appreciate it. There is no single player story. It's all online. So the AI that would normally be in a single player game is always going to be with you online.
Yeah.
So I think that you're right. It does have to play with that. 6 versus 6 is still a little smaller than I thought. I don't feel like there's any reason you couldn't do at least like 8v8 or 10v10 or something like that.
Just have the option.
Right. But now here, don't keep in mind too. You gotta remember it's Weston's. So the reason I'm not too scared about that is it is Weston's and Pella. So these guys know what they're doing. They did Doom right way. They did Call of Duty 4 the right way.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing at this point. So I feel like, and they said that
this is a vision. This is not limitations. This is a vision.
Right. So, and I don't know if you saw the article afterwards. It's like, after all the backlash came out about it, did you see that where they actually talked about it?
Yeah.
Where they said, this was done after, this was a choice that we made after internal testing, where we actually tried, anything from 32 versus 32 down to 2 versus 2. They actually went from the full gamut, and they felt that 6v6 was the perfect midstream.
Team Money, thank you so much. We're on every Saturdays, if you don't know. We're Saturdays at 10. And we are, again, the Level Up Show, and we're a gaming-dedicated discussion, and we'll be going on for maybe another hour now. We have something to give away at the end of the show. So
yeah, for those that haven't heard yet, I know we've said it a bunch of times, we have 2 things to give away. It's literally going to be $65 worth of games. So.
And someone asked if we're taking questions. We're definitely taking comment questions, but we'll also have you guys call in.
Yeah, we're going to do calls. We have a lot of news that we wanted to cover, so we kind of wanted to blow through it. Normally we wouldn't take calls, in between, but...
is there any story so far that you think maybe was worth having some calls, you think?
There's a lot that we did cover. We kind of just ran through everything just we have so much.
Maybe after, in a few stories, there's a big one that maybe we could take some calls on.
Before on? Oh, afterwards?
Maybe the Adam Orth thing, which is a very controversial issue in itself.
All right.
So after that, speaking of like Twitch and what we're doing here, Xbox One announced that Twitch streaming is not coming to Xbox One for at least a few more months. Yeah. Maybe even June.
Yeah, it has a ways to go, which is upsetting and surprising.
It's just they were the first ones to announce that Twitch was supported on Xbox One. Thank you, Jamie Station. I've seen your show before too. I love your show as well. Thank you for following us. Cool. Okay, so that's disappointing, but at the same time, this is a big opportunity for Sony to really establish Twitch as a PlayStation thing.
It has a double-edged sword. Yeah, it's a double-edged sword. It's going to be great for Sony, but it's also going to limit, you gotta remember, I know you're all about the PlayStation and everything like that, and that's, but there's so many people out there that got the Xbox with thinking that they'll be able to do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, actually, I would venture to say that most of the people that would probably be using Twitch for streaming would probably be using it on Xbox more than they would on the PlayStation.
Maybe, that's true.
So I'm really surprised, and I honestly, the one thing is, what the fuck, why? Why is it taking so, what is holding them back? And I don't know, I think we had a discussion of maybe Sony kind of put in some money to hold that back a little while.
Maybe, it's possible.
Because I think we had a discussion before.
Because this is helping them, I think. It's a big deal. I know I've been reading a lot of topics about people that are talking with non-gamers, and they're talking about PS4 for this reason. They're saying, people are interested in this. And I can't imagine someone buying a PS4 for this, but it's exciting some non-gamers in the way they make a Wii Sports Stand or something.
Are you aware that the PS4 camera is one of the hardest things to find?
Yeah.
It's actually just as hard to find a PS4 camera. It's actually harder apparently to find a PS4 camera than it is to find a console.
Yeah, it's doing really well, and I'm glad about that. A lot of people are PlayStation Now. I know. Don't worry, we're getting there.
That is essentially our topic of the week, so we're going to go to it.
We want to get as many people in here as possible before we get to PlayStation Now because it's such a big story, and we know that.
Yeah, a lot of people. We're going through. We have our list of news, so we're gonna go through it. It's all right.
Okay.
87.
You remember Star Wars 1313?
Yeah, I was really. I remember. I was just really disappointed about it because I got so psyched for it, and then especially now when we find this out, I'm really pissed off that it's gone.
And then especially when we found out it was a Boba Fett title, maybe. And
I thought that's what you were going to talk about.
No, I'm going to talk about the lead guy on it, the creative director. Sony got him.
Yeah,
they hired him.
Yeah,
he was out of work probably. LucasArts shut down, and Sony's like, you know what?
For those that don't know, Star Wars 1313, all you saw was basically CGI type trailers for it. But it was a really dark, really graphic, dark looking take on the Star Wars universe. Yeah. And then we come to find out, and it makes more sense that it was supposed to follow the life of Boba Fett a little. Yeah. So that we were all psyched, and then LucasArts just died.
Yeah. Which is sad, really sad.
Yeah.
But the guy's name, the lead director, his name is Dominic Robiliard. He's now with Sony, and what's kind of cool about that is that he used to be with Sony. He used to work on the Getaway series. Do you remember Getaway?
Yes,
Sony was actually British GTA.
No, was that supposed to be what Sleeping Dogs was based on?
I'm not sure, but it came. There was a 1 and a 2.
Am I right? No.
What?
Sleeping Dogs, was that based off of Getaway? I want.
It might have been, but the thing is that the Getaway was kind of Sony's other GTA, but it was more like grounded in reality. It was based in London, but some people liked it, and he was the creative director on those titles, and now Sony grabbed them back, maybe because they knew him before and they knew he was out of work, and so that's great. Welcome Dominic Robiliard to Sony, I guess.
How you say that name?
Dominic Robiliard, I think.
Blankenship is back.
Yeah, Blankenship has joined us. He was the guy that was really excited for PlayStation Now. We'll
True Crime. Thank you.
Okay,
that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah, Blankenship. Thank you.
Woo! I had the idea right there. So.
You were close. Alrighty, let's see. A huge update is planned for Xbox One in the near future, and this is going to fix a lot of those hidden or harder to use features. The stuff that they kind of they were so easy to get to on.
You'll actually be able to play the games with the discs that you bought. Oh wait, no, sorry, that's not what they're talking about.
Yeah, this is more about that the trophy system and the friend system are hidden behind too many walls. They really ruined their party system and stuff like that. Making things hard to find.
Well, I think I was telling one that I had to tell you about that. How you had to go into party chat, choose party chat, choose there's a lot of BS. A
lot of weird decisions on that UI, but they're saying that they're going to fix all of this. It's going to be a huge update. Quotations, huge update. It's going to consolidate features like friends list, parties, avatars, and achievements. So that's great. Hopefully it's even more than that, but that would be a step in the right direction for Xbox. Thank you, T-Money, for following. Anyone can follow us on Twitch at the Level Up Show, and you can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook and Blogspot and our YouTube where we put up videos. And Let's Plays. I have a few Let's Plays of Don't Starve up, so yeah, check it all out. Okay, we're almost at CES now, guys. But we might take a question. Is there a good question?
Well,
yeah, I mean,
602 Kid.
We talked about that before a little bit. But.
Go ahead, Mark. 602 Kid asked, "What are your thoughts on the future of monetizing gameplay? Is it worth pushing a YouTube channel, or should gamers join a network?"
Well, this is a very iffy subject to discuss right now because of what's going on with YouTube and how difficult it can be to monetize things right now. They're making it a lot more difficult to use content from games and whatnot, which I'm almost worried about because I put up 2 Let's Plays of Don't Starve, and I'm hoping that nothing comes from that because I know YouTube is kind of cracking down on that kind of thing, and we're not a sponsored YouTube channel or anything like that. I think that you need to be now, and they're really pushing that hard. So I know a lot of people are worried about this because there's a lot of people that make decent money off their YouTube channels. It's a good cash flow for some people, and a lot of those people are not, I guess, official or anything like that, and they're gonna shut them down potentially. So I think it's awesome. I would love to eventually get to that stage. We're nowhere near that, but I think it would be really cool if we get to the point where we're putting enough time and effort into this, and we have enough people that enjoy us that maybe we could monetize our YouTube channel or take a few donations, get a TV on this wall back here, do some cool things with the show.
Donate, and we can add. We can just not be as boring as we are.
Yeah.
Someone said something about Tomb Raider coming out at the end of the month. He said he might get it. Yes, if you haven't played it on the current gen, or even if you have, it gives you all the DLC. They remastered it. They're going to make it completely HD, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it's going to be an awesome game. It already is an awesome game. It's just going to be even better. So it's the definitive version. Which
between Blacklist and Tomb Raider, that was my other top 3 choice I would have made. So
okay. This is a subject we might take calls on because back in May or whenever this happened, this caused so much controversy. Do you guys remember Adam Orth? Deal with it? No, maybe, yes?
No, but I do.
I'm sure some people remember Adam Orth. This was a big deal. He was a guy who came out on Twitter back then just randomly talking about...
It wasn't even on Twitter. He just actually said it out loud in an interview.
The big things were the comments he made on Twitter, though, about, if the electricity on my house goes out, I don't expect my vacuum to work. Really weird stuff like this. And people were starting to piece it together. This guy's from Microsoft. And as more and more tweets came out, it's is this guy, confirming right now that you need to have an always online connection to be on Xbox One? And this is where the whole thing started. This was where it just started snowballing into this, oh my god, this might be real. I thought these were just rumors, but this guy works for Microsoft. This is really happening. But the bad thing that came out of that is the torture that this guy dealt with for months afterwards. He was hung pretty much online, and it's not even just him, his family, his baby, like he was getting just tortured.
He was getting like death threats and like ridiculous
on the internet, in life. He lost his job.
Right.
Like it showed the destructive nature of the internet.
Twitter, what can actually do to you.
Of NeoGAF specifically, to be honest with you. As much as I love NeoGAF, I'm a NeoGAF member, call it NeoGAF, but and I think that the guy was a prick as well for what he was doing. And obviously this is a select few people that were doing this on NeoGAF, but that's all it takes for something to start steamrolling on places other than NeoGAF. And I felt a little bad for this guy. It sucks that he had to lose his job and have his family threatened and whatnot. So it seems like he's trying to make the best of this. So he's going to do at GDC this year. He's going to do.
Cubs fan, what's going on? Thank you for joining us again.
A presentation called "Mob Rules: The Destructive Power of Opinion and Online Community."
There you go.
And it's going to explore the destructive power of online negativity and how developers can utilize their voices to empower change in the gaming and internet community. So he's trying to make the best of this, but I kind of want to get some people's opinions on this. I want to find out, like, do you think this guy is like this is kind of like wrong for him to be doing this?
No.
A lot of people feel like this guy's still just a complete prick. Like they can't stand him. They think he deserves everything he got. That he's just trying to place blame now when he deserves all the blame.
Let me go out and say that this guy was a complete idiot for taking to it the way he did. So does he deserve all of what he got? No. Does he deserve that he lost his job? Yeah. You can't go out there, when you're known to be affiliated with a company and say things like this and not expect retaliation, especially with a subject that's not only really touchy as it is, but supposed to be confidential. So Microsoft had not said anything about this yet. So he basically let the cat out of the bag without them actually planning to let the cat out of the bag.
The consequences.
Just so we can get past it. No Blankenship. I haven't played the Aquadad demo yet. I will though.
Go and play.
Yeah.
Next time you get a chance.
I'm excited for that game.
It's really goofy. It's really
goofy. So let's open up we haven't taken any calls.
We started late. We started at 10. It sucked. Then we came back at like 10:45 and it took off again. So
we might have been having some Twitch problems. No, there isn't a way to turn off the Playroom music.
Not well, at least.
Yeah.
God, it's so annoying.
It is annoying. We know there might be a workaround. We're looking into it. Maybe next week. We'll let you know.
Yep.
So I'm going to open up the phone line. One moment, please. And we will take what your opinion on Adam Orth is. Like,
or anything. I mean, we talked about
we talked about a lot, so you can talk about any news story that we discussed.
Anything that we already talked about.
856-244-1656, as Mark just put into the chat. We've discussed. I'm going to do a little recap for people that haven't been with us for a while. Already, never mind. That was quick.
That was fast.
That was really quick.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
Hey, welcome to the Level Up Show. You're live. What do you want to talk about?
Hey, this is Celtics fan actually calling in.
Oh, hey, Celtics fan. Thanks for joining us again.
Yeah, I absolutely love your guys' show. I missed it earlier. I was at the movies and I forgot. I didn't know what time you guys started, and I had to turn it on. I seen you guys. What time did you start? What time are you on till?
We tried to start at 10. It didn't work out for us. I think we might have been having some Twitch issues, so we stopped for a while and we started fresh again around 10:45. So you haven't missed much.
Yeah. Let me just say that's not okay unless you saw a good movie.
Do you know how different the Tomb Raider game is going to be for the PS4? Because I loved it on the PS3.
Go ahead.
So the Tomb Raider game on the PS4 is basically a completely remastered game for the system, plus all the DLC that they've added, on the game since. So if you have gotten the DLC, on the current gen system, all you're going to really get on the new version is going to be the remastered graphics, which, keep in mind, they basically took all the textures and everything, wiped them away and just redid it from scratch to make it look like it should be on the Xbox One and PS4.
For instance, they took...
She looks amazing. She looks amazing.
Right.
Exactly what I was going to say is they took that model and they, multiplied the polygons by a great amount. It's not just up-res. This is a big up-res of Lara Croft, adding polygons, redoing her texture. So yeah, she looks great. It's a good-looking game already on PS3, and it's going to be an even better-looking game on PS4 and Xbox One.
Because I was wondering if it was worth picking up. I mean, I loved it on the PS3. I thought the game is needed.
Did you get the DLC for it?
It looks really, really good. And that was one of my favorite 3 games next to The Last of Us and Bioshock.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you get the DLC for it when it was out?
No, actually I didn't, because sometimes I have a habit when I need a game for single player.
Right, you get rid of it.
I traded in.
I think Exo is calling in.
Once the PS4 came out, I traded in my PS3 to kind of put it towards the PS4.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely pick it up, man. But thank you again for watching. We appreciate it.
Oh, sure. Thank you for taking my call. You guys are doing a great job. I'm watching every Saturday. I love you guys.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Okay, you too.
Thanks,
Bye.
Damn, we missed that. I'm thinking that might have been X-Oil. I tried calling from
try calling in again, please, if that was X-Oil.
Just rack up your phone bill. Don't worry about it. We'll take it.
Yeah, it is from Sweden, so... well, yeah, let's talk about Oculus Rift, because that's just so exciting. They have a new prototype. Did you see it?
The cameras on the side of it.
So, they used to have it where it was just a one thing. You had the thing on your head. I guess it measured through like maybe gyroscopic motion or whatnot. Yeah. But now they're doing something like the camera, where they have a stationary object and they put a whole bunch of LEDs on the front and back of the headset that goes on your head. So now not only can you tilt your head and look up and down, it senses your movement to the point where you can tilt down and look towards the ground that way. You have a full range of movement with your body now. It's a big deal. Yeah. So we're going to take another call. Hey, welcome to the Level Up Show. You're live. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
What do you want to talk about?
Well, I just see you guys talking about the Oculus Rift there, and I just wondering how you guys think that's going to play around with the PS4 games like War Thunder. You guys think they'll introduce it to Battlefield or other games, or?
Well, let's just say off the bat, if you can't hear him, he's asking about Oculus Rift, and he's asking if we think that there might be an impact on the PS4. Will it come to the PS4? So you go ahead, Mike. Why don't you talk about this?
Yeah, I'm really psyched for this myself. The Oculus Rift could completely change how we do gaming in general, or even movies.
Could be a revolution.
You know, it could be completely revolutionized the way. I mean, it could be a big flop. You know, it could just be a bunch of hype, right before it flops. But I'll tell you right now, honestly, the potential it had, it is really, it's really exciting what it could do. So imagine it being in Battlefield, like you just said, Battlefield game, and not only the Battlefield games themselves look gorgeous, but now you have this view as if that's all you're seeing. So you actually have this more realistic feeling that you're actually on the battlefield. And couple that with some of the things that they've been talking about, where they have vibrating, pieces that you can put wherever you're sitting. That would actually make you, parts of you, parts of you.
I mean, if you've got this headset on, if you got the noise canceling headphones, if you've got something that could maybe give you feedback as far as like on your body, this is just, we're getting so close to full immersion now. And the thing is, Mike's talking about like Battlefield and stuff. What excites me about Oculus Rift is what no one has thought of yet. The stuff that this could open up potentially as far as completely new game design, like things that have never been done before, ideas that have never been done before. I think a lot of people's minds are going to porn right now. But there's so many more opportunities than that. There's so many things that they could do that are completely innovative to the point where we could have a new revolution, like a different way to play games. But anyway, that's enough of us talking. What are your feelings on Oculus Rift?
I like it personally. I think it's innovative. I think it goes farther, much farther beyond what things like the PlayStation Move are doing. And I think from the direction they're going with it, from what I've personally picked up and what I've heard of what they're doing with it already, it seems like it's really going to change, like this, and change the way gaming is played. And I like the direction they're going with it. It seems like something like the Move controllers seem like kind of probably better technology than like what the Wii controllers had.
That's very true.
And that being said, like this seems like something that gamers will get to more, because I know a lot of gamers like to use a controller in their hand, whereas an Oculus Rift, it's not so much a funny controller in your hand, but something totally different that would be a lot better.
Right. I completely agree. Thanks for your question, man. I hope you can continue watching us.
Definitely, man. I appreciate it very much. You guys are doing a good job.
Thanks a lot, man. Take care.
You too.
So, But yeah, no, I mean, even more so than just the gaming aspect. Think about it just for everything. Movies, for TV and stuff like that. Stop blocking Kristen. That's why people watch us, Drew.
Sorry.
Are we taking more calls?
No, I think we're done.
We stopped taking calls.
Okay.
Thank you to the two people that called in. They were great questions. But going again off the Oculus Rift, I do want to just say that Sony did announce somewhat of a new headset. It is not the Oculus Rift. It is not full VR, and it's $1,000. But it is a full immersion theater experience for you.
Which have you ever used this yet? At one of these? They actually have them at high. Well, they have them at high end, like TV and electronics places. I'll tell you right now. If it was just me in the house or something like that, it's fucking worth it. Because it's basically an 80-inch TV all for you.
Yeah. Well, more so than that, but it puts it this close to your face. Almost.
Right.
It's to the point where you're in a theater that takes up your full peripheral, and the headset goes on, and you have the noise-canceling headphones, and you can look around as if you're looking at a screen.
Yep.
And you're within a theater to the point where it takes up more than your vision, to the point where you actually need to look around a little bit. You're that close to the action. And I heard that the picture isn't quite as clear as I think some people want it to be, since you're so close to the screen. But
$1,000.
and for $1,000, it seems a little crazy, especially because we're talking about VR headsets, and we're like, $300 I think would be a sweet spot, and now we're looking at a theater thing for $1,000.
It's on a completely different level. The Oculus Rift at $300 probably will be, because it's going to be geared towards gamers, but that's its own different thing. That's its own piece of work. So. Okay,
so Oculus Rift. Now, talking about that brought us into CES. Actually, we're into CES.
CES. This is now our topic of the week, essentially. We had so much to cover. I mean, if you've heard, almost the entire show so far has been news. And guess what? Now we have more news, just because we were even talking about. We actually, I don't know. Nobody knew. Hell, we didn't even know until now. Before we had an emergency show for CES, just because there's so much news that came out by the end of Monday. I think we already had like 15 topics of news to talk about. Then Tuesday, it already had another 10. So we have a lot to cover tonight.
Deadpool is giving a little more information. They said it's 30 feet away. I think that's true, but it still gives you that theater experience where you have like a huge screen that's far away from you, but enough to take up your vision where you can look at it.
How funny would it be if right now, out of nowhere, we just get like a jump in like 50 viewers?
I don't think that's going to happen, but we're happy for every single person that's in here.
No.
For 111?
No, never mind. Keep going.
I lost him. Alright, so first thing, Xbox, or I should say Microsoft and Sony both had conferences. Microsoft, I think, did theirs first, or it was maybe even a pre-announcement, but they came out and said that, and this was big news, over 3 million units sold to consumers through 2013 for Microsoft Xbox One.
Right.
Huge numbers. Everyone was really impressed. This was unexpected. I think a lot of people thought they weren't going to do this well,
especially because I don't think they've actually done a release on what was sold in the U.S. Which is what a lot of us are really excited for. Not XOL, because he doesn't give two shits about the U.S. anymore. But a lot of people here are really interested to see, because 3 million was a lot more than I think what people expected to do at the beginning. Heck, it's 2 million more than expected to do at all.
So many people were just completely against Microsoft that these numbers are surprising. Not even just by those standards. Even if they were having good PR, these are good numbers.
Right. And now, I guess you're going to go into Sony.
Yeah, it overshadowed it, but that's not to take away from Microsoft. But Sony
You got to remember too, the market was completely different for the Xbox One release than it was for the PS4.
Yeah.
The Xbox One released in completely different markets and essentially worldwide in a way.
Yeah.
Whereas the Xbox One was focused on their best-selling markets. For the 360. And just those markets, for them to do 3 million is a decent amount.
Yeah, this is a different generation in that there was so much time for them to prepare for it. I still don't think they were completely prepared, but they were prepared enough to really do mostly worldwide launch and really get their shipments ready. And that's why Sony, Sony, who is having shortages, and people were like, man, they might be having so many shortages that they might be outsold, came out and said that they did 4.2 million units by December 28th, not even the full year. They still had another 3 days in there. We talked about it on a few days ago. That blew my mind, because I didn't know it when you told me. You actually
you didn't realize it. I had to show it to you on the show.
That blew me away.
I'm surprised you of all people didn't know about it.
Those are huge numbers. Those are just more than huge. Those are never before numbers.
No,
this has never happened.
Not for a launch.
And for 2 consoles in one generation to release around the holiday season and both do so well, it's just this is going to be a big generation. Console gaming is not dead. It is alive and well. It's thriving, and I thought it was really impressive.
Yeah, especially because, like we said, it's not even released in all the areas, not in all territories. Can you imagine what they would be at if they were to release it in all the territories?
Imagine when Japan comes. They're not even in Japan yet.
Japan will eat. Well, I mean, Japan's I think still stuck with their face on the 3DSs a little bit.
Yeah,
but I think still it will take off. There's a lot of gamers over there. So,
definitely.
Oh my God, it's phenomenal.
The excitement is just everywhere, and like I said earlier, it's not
on the PS5.
Yeah, it's non-gamers too. Stuff like this is exciting non-gamers. The $400 price point is low enough that it's bringing over some people that were on the fence.
It wasn't actually as expensive as some of the consoles in the past.
Yeah, definitely.
Compared to the value of the dollar, so it's great.
So that was the first 2 stories. We talked about this one already, but let's say it again because we have a lot of new people. SOE, which is Sony Online Entertainment, is considering one subscription for all of their massively multiplayer online titles.
Which for me and you is not a huge thing yet, but it could be, especially if they bring some of these to the, more than DC Universe. Yeah, they bring them to online. So what that means is DC Universe, PlanetSide 2, EverQuest Next, and any other Sony Online Entertainment, which there are actually, I think there's like 15 titles that they have in development, that they're live right now. You just pay $15 a month and you have access to all of them. Yeah, and it's complete access from what I understand. It's not even a limited thing. It's a complete access. There's probably going to be more microtransactions added to it now. But I mean, that's a great deal. That's actually,
especially when you consider $15 a month. Like I think Final Fantasy 14.
Right.
That alone is $15 a month.
Plus a $60 purchase fee in the game.
Well, I will say I think Final Fantasy 14 is another great deal. I don't know if you've heard, but Final Fantasy 14, you get it for free if you're a PlayStation Plus member. If you bought it with PS3, you get an immediate upgrade to PS4 for free. You get the first month after that free, and then finally you start paying $15 a month. So you technically...
I wouldn't say that's a great deal. I just say that's a great way to get you hooked.
Well, let's think about this. I've read about the online mode, at least as the quest and the story mode goes, which is something that maybe I would only do. Like I'm interested in the story, which I heard is actually pretty good. I heard that you could get that done in the first 2 months. Yeah. So technically, you're getting a Final Fantasy story mode for $15 because the first month is free.
Sure. Okay, all right.
So I think that's a great deal. That means you can get 5 months before you're paying a full $60 retail price.
Right.
I think that's a good deal. So hopefully a lot more people get into this. I think that's a good... We were talking about this. I decided not to talk about it, but I think that's a good model.
Right.
So give it to people for free. Have them pay a subscription. Maybe give them the first month. Get them hooked onto it so that they want to keep paying. But give them to them for free at the beginning. Get them hooked because it's free.
Yeah.
You know?
No, and I agree about getting them hooked into it. I get all that. I just hate, I just never been a big fan of like the subscription fees. You know, how it's just
it hurts my soul.
Right. It's so much money that you invest into these. Can you imagine someone who's been playing World of Warcraft since it's been out? Can you imagine how much money that they've put into
which is a lot of people.
Mark, how long has World of Warcraft been out?
Too long. I don't know. I think it released 05 or 06.
I think there are rumors of finally them moving on to the next World of Warcraft.
But let's just subscriptions for World of Warcraft have been like consistently on the decline.
Yes.
That said,
what is it, $15 a month, right?
Last I checked.
Yeah. Sooner or later, people are going to die.
That said, I mean, World of Warcraft still far outpaces every other MMO out there subscription just on a base.
Yeah.
And every time it's just like WoW will take a little dip. Somebody will come in and take a spike, but it never lasts.
Dude, all right, I just did it, and this is going off of 7 years.
Which has been out longer than that.
It's been out longer than that, but I've given people, they've given free months and everything like that here and there, and they've given free, playtime and stuff like that. If you've had World of Warcraft since its initial launch, you have now invested $1,260 into the company. Congratulations.
But wait, there's more. Because the expansions cost additional money too.
What is it?
They're
20
like additional
to $30?
Try more like $40.
Yeah,
really?
Expansion.
And it's been what, 5?
Something like that. I don't know.
The thing
I quit after Burning Crusade.
Let's say that
I'm clean. I got it out of my system.
We're talking about them declining, but really, where else are you going to find a game that's been around for 8+ years with a subscription model that still has 5+ million?
And you're completely right. And I mean, obviously they did something right, and they did it the right way. And they weren't the first. EverQuest was one of the first ones, but they did it the right way, and they got everybody into it.
That we're still talking about WoW says it all.
Right. Right, and I mean, someone's even said in there, I'm excited to see what Elder Scrolls does. A lot of people are like kind of iffy and on the fence. I know you don't really care too much either way.
I was interested in it, but until I heard that you have to buy it for $60 and then pay $15 a month. Like that's a little.
You're bitching about that, and you just promoted Final Fantasy.
Like I said, you get it for free, and then you pay $15 a month.
Is that hypocritical or free month? Thank you. Okay.
No, do you understand what I'm saying? You have to buy it for $60.
No, I get it.
And then pay $15 a month on top of that.
How do you? But here's the thing.
That's $75 immediately.
Right. Yeah. But here's the thing. You also forget the fact that they said it was going to be an exclusive special deal for PS4 players.
What does that mean?
We don't know yet, but they could do the exact same damn thing.
I'll wait for that. If that's the case,
let's say they do that. Are you still?
If it's free at first, no, that's great. I would love to get a free game and be able to put 4 months into it before it gets to that retail price. That's completely fine with me. I always go off of that retail price because that's what I do.
You never finished Skyrim, did you?
I haven't even touched Skyrim because I bought it for him and he never played it.
You bitched because it took too damn long to make a potion. I forgot about that. Dan told me about that.
But yeah, everything's based off that retail price because that's what I buy games for. I'm not someone who buys used games. So if I can get 4 months out of a title before I'm paying that $60, then that is totally worth my money. But if I got to pay $75 by the minute I start playing that game, and I might not even like it and want to continue, that's a little bit different.
All right.
So that's my rationale.
We went really far off of that one.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
This might be the first argument I've seen.
What kind of pie are you like?
Yeah, let's get back into pie. All right.
You guys are like seriously arguing.
Let's get to a jokey one again because I think this is so funny. Shaquille O'Neal says Shaq Fu 2 is coming.
Woo! Does anybody remember that game? Because I do.
Of course I remember.
I know you do.
I'm 27 years old.
You remember that game?
Shaq Fu.
You remember that game? Shaq Fu was awfully amazing.
Yes. It was one of those games that was like a guilty pleasure. It was terrible, but you were too young to realize it. But he tweeted and said the graphics are crazy. Now, I almost am wondering, is this serious? Is he joking?
I want to hope that it's a joke.
Really? I want to hope that it's real. Why? Because I'll never get it. Never in my life would I get it.
So why would you want it to be real?
I want to see what it looks like. I want to see how ridiculous it is.
Yeah, but what developer would be investing money into this?
Stupid enough as a
Hello Games?
Maybe. Yeah, 4-person team working on No Man's Sky and Shaq Fu 2. I don't know. But I do hope it's real. At least real enough that they started something and I can see some videos of like concept or something. I just want to see what they got.
Even if this becomes a what could have been, how great would that be? That would have been a great story for what could. Let's do what could have been for a Shaq Fu 2.
On our show 3 years from now, Shaq Fu 2. We'll talk about Shaq Fu 2.
Those of you that are recording this, archive and let's bring it up. It's gonna be like embarrassing photos from when you're 15.
Okay. A new console was announced and it wasn't Steambox.
No, it was not.
Do you know what this console is? Mark, did you hear about this?
No.
It's called the...
Hey, do you know what this? Did you hear about this?
Did I hear about this?
I'm not even sure I'm not even gonna say this right.
I was too busy like writing notes.
It's called the Huawei Tron?
What was it?
Huawei Tron. Huawei?
Huawei.
Oh, that's cool.
Huawei
Tron.
Yeah, they make phones and everything, so it's Huawei.
It's okay. Let's right off the bat. Let's say this isn't like a console like the PS4 or Xbox One. It's another micro console similar to Ouya, but
the blunder of the century.
But it is doing things better at least than Ouya. It's going to have double the RAM. It's going to have 2 to 4 times the storage, and it only costs $120.
Does it have access to the Play Store?
I don't know.
Right. That was the Ouya's downfall. You know that. You know that the only reason why Ouya did not do well is because it did not have access to the Play Store.
What are your thoughts on the game The Crew? I'm looking forward to playing that. I don't know enough. I know it's another racing game.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I was actually really cool, like really for it when it was first announced and they showed those videos. And then I started like looking more into it. And I'm kind of halfway not caring. I'm caring more about Drive Club. Yeah. But The Crew 2 is basically take. Do you know anything about it at all?
I like apple pie and raspberry pie.
Woo!
We want to start a debate on the chat room. What is your favorite pie?
We already did that last weekend. Favorite pie.
No, I asked them already. We got
Damn it, we repeat to it.
We've gotten
pumpkin, baby.
I think both of us aren't that excited about it. But.
No, I'm not very that excited. It's basically you take Drive Club, mix it with a little bit of Need for Speed. You essentially have a 4-person team. You're in whatever cars that you choose. I think you can even do trucks in this one. Yeah. And essentially you just have to take down, from what I understand, armored cars. Okay. And you're doing it, you can, apparently it's interesting because it's an always online type game where, other groups can come in and try to overtake you and your team and the car that you're taking over. Okay. I don't know. It's cool, but it could be, honestly, I'm really afraid because it could be really, really bad.
I'll wait until I see more. Yeah. Reserving judgment. But, okay, so yeah, the Huawei Tron, it's going to be $120. What do you think of that price?
A little bit higher, especially for what the market's doing right now.
If you can get access to anything on the Play Store,
if you can get access to anything on the Play Store, it's great because you're gonna be a little bit higher than the Ouya, which is still, for whatever reason,
is it higher than the Ouya?
Ouya's $100. Okay, so you're still higher than the Ouya, which is understandable if you have access to the Play Store because the Ouya is still at $100 for God knows what reason.
Okay,
so
next, I might give this to you. I might run to the bathroom real quick.
No.
I'll be 2 minutes. But do you want to talk about Steambox for a second?
Right.
You can handle that?
Yeah, because you don't even know jack shit about Steambox.
I don't know much about Steambox. I'll be right back.
Alright. I don't even know where the fuck you are. All you broke down was Steambox impressions.
Yeah, just
asshole.
talk about it.
Alright, so Steambox. They unveiled, 14 different units? 13, I think it was. Have you seen any of these, Mark?
Not yet.
No, alright, I'm just going to ramble on to myself because no one in this damn room knows what the hell I'm talking about. Anthony, you seem like an astute young gentleman.
Talk to the viewers, dude.
The Steambox. No, I'm kidding.
Not a gamer.
No. I can't imagine what the world would be like if you were a gamer. The Steambox essentially is taking everything you love from Steam and putting it onto a Steam OS onto a computer. So they unveiled a bunch of the machines. The thing that me and Drew are not really keen on is the pricing. So you have a minimum of a $499 price point. So $500 for the cheapest Steambox that's going to come out. Here's the issue with that is for an extra $100, even for $500, you can buy a laptop or a PC that can run Steam games at okay settings. Now some of these are going to run them at higher settings, than the minimal that you can get on those $500-600, for this systems. Holy shit!
I'm quick. What can I say?
That was kind of creepy quick.
Well, I'm not gonna make any comments.
Was that really weird? That was really weird. I'm essentially right now. I'm touching on the price point and
there's a lot of price points.
Unideal price points.
The lowest is $500.
Right, and I was saying that it's not really that ideal when you can get a computer or a laptop that is right around the same price and that can run the stuff. Yeah. But it's pretty cool because it runs the Steam OS, so it's only dedicated for Steam, so you can run the games at higher frame rates and at higher qualities than you can on the other stuff.
The thing I actually wanted to talk about the most, I didn't write this down, I'm sorry, is the controller. There's a lot of complaints about the controller.
Yeah, and it's really weird. I showed you, and you were kind of about it.
When I saw it, I knew immediately, I don't think a lot of people are going to like this. I think they made a really dumb decision by not keeping the left trackpad as a joystick.
Yes.
There's no reason not to have the left trackpad as a joystick. I understand why the right pad would be a trackpad, so you have that really quick movement, like a mouse.
Did you wash your hands?
Yes.
They were curious about that. They were kind of worried.
Yes, I washed my hands. I'm just really quick. I sounded bad. Alright. Never mind.
This show, I think, is one of my favorite shows. Can I just say that right now?
This is a good one. Welcome, Gordy. What's up with you? But where was I? Why would you keep the left movement as a trackpad?
Why would you keep both of them as trackpads?
No, the right one makes sense for a PC player who wants that real quick rotation and whatnot.
Alright, so I do get that, but yeah, you're right. Especially when you're already used to keys, so you're used to 4 keys at a time.
You need that feedback when you're pressing buttons when it comes to that directional kind of feel
now,
on the left.
From what I understand, this is also not the only controller that
you can use whatever you want with them, pretty sure.
Right, well, each developer is probably going to be making, each console developer is going to be making their own controller, from what I understand. Well, this is the most popular one.
What I'm reading is that, someone was asking, well, what does the Xbox 360 controller work with it? And one guy's like, well, of course it does. It works with a PC, so it'll work with Steambox.
Right.
So that's all you really need to know, right? Because the Xbox 360 controller is a great controller.
The Xbox One controller is actually, I like it better. I'll tell you right now,
Yeah, I mean, that's a little bit of a back.
It's pretty cool. Now, here's the other thing: is there, and a couple smaller sites touched on this. There's, I think it was Machineworks. I can't remember the name of the company that made one. I told you about the smallest Steambox that was actually not really talked about, and it wasn't in this list of 13 that was unveiled. And so it's essentially the size. It's basically about 3.5 inches tall, so it's essentially the size of 2 sandwiches stacked on top of each other. That's what somebody said. And the benefit for this is it's essentially something you'll be able to easily stick in a bag or something like that and bring it to a buddy's house to play. So we don't know, but we also don't know if that's going to be a $500 price point. That's the interesting thing about that one, is if it's going to undercut all the other ones. Because that would be really interesting if it is.
We have an Xbox hater.
What else?
Yeah, you're welcome to hate on it, but they did some
bash it yourself.
They did some shitty stuff for sure, but they're rectifying that. They're doing their thing, and there's definitely some great launch titles on Xbox One. So I wouldn't be so pessimistic. Or
what does that even mean?
I can cosplay as the topic of the day. It'll be sweet. Mark, make it happen.
I don't know.
Mastermind wants to come down and join the show.
Let's delve into this a little deeper.
Why?
What do you want to cosplay as? That's a little bit of a scary question.
Yes, I don't know what.
What would you like to cosplay as?
You just opened the doors.
I just opened Pandora's box.
Oh my god, this is gonna be bad. So, all right. Anyway, let's go on to another thing while we're waiting for his reply.
Well, I think we might be. Yeah, we're there.
We're there. We're our last one, which is a big one. This is gonna take a little while to cover. Okay. So,
this is a big story, and a lot of people have been asking us to talk about this. Sony had their final conference after their first one. They did a first one which was focused on all their other tech devices, and then they had a PlayStation conference where Kazurai, however you say his name, he came out and he announced PlayStation Now, the culmination of their Gaikai acquisition for $281 million or whatever it was. I think it was actually 350 or something like that, and everyone was like, what the hell is Sony doing? They are almost bankrupt. Why are they buying people?
Right, and that's why everybody was surprised.
Now we know why. It's a great idea. So let me explain to you what PlayStation Now is. PlayStation Now is your answer to backwards compatibility, pretty much. It is the full back catalog, eventually, of PS1, PS2, PS3, PSP, the PlayStation Nation, the universe of PlayStation, all accessible, streaming on your PlayStation 4. But not just your PS4, but on your tablet, on your phone, maybe your laptop eventually, on your Vita. So really, on your TV, on your Bravia. Right now it's exclusive to Sony devices, but pretty much this is what I've always imagined is the future of gaming.
Yeah.
I'm not saying consoles are going to die, but I think this is going to take over a huge portion where you're just going to have an application and that's it. And you don't need to have any data on your device. You're streaming the console games Netflix style to your device. You're sending your input feedback back to the servers, and it's low enough latency that it's still very playable.
Right.
I don't think it's going to take over for true gaming with millisecond latency, but it is something that's really going to take off.
What do you mean? One that actually did this?
Wait, sorry. I just read that. Mastermind says, for today, this is where I walk in as a giant combination of all PlayStation devices. Okay, I'd be okay with that.
When you read that, did you think of South Park? Was that?
Yeah. Okay. It took a second for it to register, and I was like, okay, that's awesome. But anyway, this is a huge deal.
But OnLive was, I think, the first company to do that, right? Am I wrong in saying that? So, I mean, I actually even said at the time I was really excited for it because I thought it was going to be, changing, and now they're gone under. So this could really be good. It could really be bad still. It could actually not do anything for them. Sure. Now, the cool thing about this is it's not even talking just about games. So not only are you actually able... Now, let's actually talk about, before I go into that, the cool thing about the PlayStation Now is it's not only the PS4, it's your Vita.
Yep.
It's your TV.
Yeah.
So the new Sony TVs with all their fancy features, one fancy feature they're going to have is the ability to support Bluetooth and then enhance, the Bluetooth, PS3 Bluetooth controllers.
I think the assumption right now, because someone's asking, it's right now exclusive to Sony devices.
Yes.
And I think the reason for that is I could see Sony implementing some software maybe into their new Bravia TVs, some Bluetooth technology to allow you to use PlayStation controllers to make the streaming technology a little bit more efficient and lower latency with your TV. So right now it's Sony devices, but they even came out and said, this isn't just an assumption, they said that it will eventually come to non-Sony devices, which is a huge deal. It's almost like, I don't know if it's a good idea, it's like you could have on your Apple iPad a PlayStation 2 game that you're playing Bluetooth with your PlayStation controller.
Yeah.
That's pretty
awesome. Cool. Yeah, it's actually going to bring to mind, the idea of mobile gaming and what it's actually going to be able to do for it. I mean, you're already able to play a lot of classics like Crash Bandicoot and stuff like that. But this will, enhance it a lot. And those games that we've been wanting for a while that we haven't seen come to the store.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's going to be, a price to it, which we'll talk.
We'll talk about that. But you're saying people have been waiting for stuff. Here's a perfect example. A lot of people are like, Last of Us PS4.
Right.
Well, now you got it, because that's
Grand Theft Auto 5 PS4.
Yep.
They're
showing it off already at the conference on the show floor.
You're able to play Last of Us.
You're able to play Last of Us. You're able to play God of War. You're able to play Beyond and Puppeteer. And there was impressions from these, and almost everyone was saying it's not 1080p. It's maybe like 720p, but it's very low latency, enough that it's not affecting the gameplay experience.
Right.
And for how early it is, it's very impressive.
Yeah.
And to show the confidence that Sony has, you will be able to possibly get into the beta for this by the end of the month. You might be using PlayStation Now by the end of January. That's how confident they are in this. And that it's going to have a full rollout by summer. That speaks volumes to me.
Now let's add on to that. We're not going to talk price, but I want to talk about the other part of that, the TV stuff.
Yes, definitely.
That's going to be phenomenal. So why don't you go into that? Because I know that's something that you were looking into.
This is another thing I've been waiting for, and one of the reasons I was kind of confused when Xbox One showed the HDMI input to connect the cable box. I've always seen that we're moving away from live TV.
Yeah.
We're moving towards IPTV. We're moving towards, here's an application for Comcast, here's an application for Dish Network, which was just announced.
And I've been saying this for years. I worked at an electronics store for a while, and I had to push, to everybody, listen, internet streaming for, movies and TV is really the way it's going, and it is. And I've been trying to show everybody and tell everybody, and this is showing what it could be.
Yeah.
And keep going with it.
The thing is, imagine that on PlayStation 4, similar to the PlayStation Store now. If you go into the PlayStation Store, you have a list of all of your stations. You got Fox, you got ABC, you got AMC, and then when you go in that, you got your television shows. Imagine taking that, but now you've got PlayStation Now. You go into there, you put into your username and password, let's say for Comcast, but let's say you don't have Comcast. Let's just say you have HBO, HBO Go. Let's say you have a subscription to an AMC app that eventually comes. You subscribe to whatever station that you are invested in, that you want to watch, and you have your login information. It remembers that, and then all you got to do is click on PlayStation Now, and you've got your everything that's ever been on.
Right.
You've got Breaking Bad seasons 1 through 6. Right. You've got Sopranos seasons 1 through 5. What was it?
Right.
Everything's there already. No live TV, just right at your access.
I'm all for this.
That brings up an interesting point where I had read recently that Time Warner apparently lost 215,000 subscribers in their last quarter.
I'm sure they did.
This is live TV, right?
Yeah.
This is what's happening.
Look at me.
I'm Comcast.
I'm exactly that person. All I have is Amazon Prime and Netflix. I don't even have Hulu, which I probably should get, but still, I don't need it.
Yeah.
You don't have to have cable TV. To be honest, the only reason I've thought about getting cable TV is just to have something on in the background that I don't have to keep hitting X on my fucking PlayStation just so it keeps playing.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't really give a shit. I don't watch any of this.
Release a PlayStation Bluetooth controller, like a remote alongside this. Give the PlayStation its own television controller, and you've pretty much got the answer to Xbox One's TV functionality with no need for another box.
Right.
This is, I think, a much better solution to that technology. And the best thing about it is if Sony does this right, like I was saying, and they just make one interface for all of your different stations and Comcast and whatnot to attach themselves to, then Sony could do something similar to the guide that Xbox One does really well. That's what's cool about Xbox One is that you put an interface over top of.
Let's just go into real quick. I mean, before we even keep dissing it, the Xbox One's TV integration is actually pretty enhanced and it's pretty good. I would be the first to say it's actually not only fluid, but it's actually pretty enhanced. As far as what you can do.
And the voice functionality is what's really nice.
Right, and it's very handy for that. And actually, they haven't even implemented where you can actually say the TV channels yet.
Yeah.
So.
But that's. I'm sorry that I'm playing on Sony's side a lot.
No, and this is actually the topic of the week. And you're right. This is going to kill that.
I think it is because a lot of people. PlayStation camera is not as powerful as Kinect, but when it comes to voice recognition, that does not mean anything. Like it can do everything that Xbox One can do as far as voice recognition. That's a software thing. So as long as Sony continues to evolve their software when it comes to voice recognition, we could get to the stage where when they release whatever this TV service, this cloud TV service is, they could have all the same voice functionality where you say, PlayStation, go to AMC. PlayStation, record What's the? I don't watch Breaking Bad's off now. What would I watch on AMC? Mad Men. Sorry, Mad Men.
Did you see the new show that they have coming up for that?
No.
About the first spy in the Revolutionary War?
Yes, I did see that.
That's going to be...
Yeah, AMC's awesome.
Sorry, anyway.
But yeah, I just think that Sony has a really great answer right now. And if they can capitalize on it and get it out quick and not let, Microsoft take off with this idea of, an online interface or an interface over top of your television, because the longer they let that stand, more and more people are going to be like, wow, that's a really cool thing. Pause. Another Sons of Anarchy.
You missed one before that, by the way.
So many Sons of Anarchy references.
God.
Okay.
Someone likes my trivia questions.
From last week? Yeah.
Pap Van Winkle.
By the way, we'll probably be doing that again tomorrow if Kristen's okay with it. We might go on for like an hour again tomorrow, Kristen and I, and do our normal just shooting the breeze.
Battle of the Sexes again?
Maybe we'll play Battle of the Sexes again. It was fun. We had a good time. So we might do that again tomorrow night. But what can we go with this TV thing though? Is there anything else that really could... Oh, what about PlayStation Productions?
Right, we haven't even touched on the fact that, like Xbox has, with, they do have a better lineup so far from what we've understood. They have partnerships with Spielberg for the Halo series, but Sony has said that they have, people ready to make their own content. And you gotta remember, Sony has been doing movies productions way longer than
they own a lot of big franchises. They have a Spider-Man's one of them.
Right. They have a lot of, contracts that they have with these people. I think Kick-Ass?
I think so, and Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad is a Sony, what would you call it? It's not really owned, I guess, by Sony, but that's a Sony production, I guess you could say.
Now, from what I understand, Better Call Saul has not had an official, tie for any studio. Not
really?
AMC or anything like that. Could it go to Sony?
That'd be awesome. That's the thing. So, they could do some really cool things, because Sony has more of a what would you call it, like a branch into this than Microsoft does. So they could really utilize that. They've got more into music, they've got more into movies, they've got more into TV than Microsoft does. So they could really try and take advantage of that and do some really cool things, as well as doing some exclusive content such as a God of War show or something like that to really get in some hardcore PlayStation guys exclusively on PlayStation TV or whatever it's called eventually. So the thing is,
let's keep in mind too, as we're talking about, it's not like it's going to come this year.
No, I don't think so.
This is going to be probably a couple of years out.
But then at the same time, I never would have thought that PlayStation Now was coming so soon.
You're right, but you got to remember too, this is, for them to be able to do what they're claiming they can do with the TV stuff, they have to finalize contracts with everybody. So.
Man, that's so true. Every time I talk about AMC, somehow I forget The Walking Dead, even though I'm a huge fan of The Walking Dead. Yeah, I definitely would record Walking Dead, the person who just asked that. Because I said Mad Men, and I was like, why can't I think of an AMC show? Walking Dead. Walking Dead's a great AMC show. But let's go back to the gaming side of things again real quick. So with PlayStation Now, like I said, it's coming out by June, and it's going to start off as just being PS3 and I think Vita that can use it. It's not going to be your Sony devices like your TV or anything like that yet. That's coming. But it's going to start off being PS3 and Vita, and it's going to be a select amount of games. It's not going to be a full catalog at the beginning, but it's going to be something that evolves over the course of the generation, which could be 6 or 7 years long. So this is a future thing. This is something that's going to change gaming a little bit. It's going to be something you're going to be seeing a lot of. I could see Xbox really trying to do something similar to this eventually. Is there anything else to this that I can think of? Oh, one more thing. People have been commenting on it. They're recommending a 5 megabit per second connection.
Yeah, so anybody that's saying anything about 5 megabits per second, that's not in relation to their Wi-Fi connection just for the PS4.
That's a download connection,
right, that's a download, This was talking about for the PlayStation Now service. Now, we also didn't talk about pricing, too.
Hold on 1 second. 5 megabits per second, which is not megabytes per second, 5 megabits per second is more like, that's divided by 8. So that's like 6 to 7 0.6 to 7 megabytes per second, which isn't very high. No. Let me tell you right now, like that's low. So if it does work well with 5 megabits per second, that's pretty awesome, because I think most people have higher than that. Unless you're maybe like in the Midwest or something like that, you might have a little bit of a lower connection. But especially if you're like in California, if you're in the Northeast like we are, that's a low connection. You probably have that with Comcast or whatever. So yeah, let's go into pricing, because people are having unrealistic expectations.
Right, this is going to be something that could be very scary, or it could be very good for all of us. And so far from what we've seen, you got to look at PlayStation Plus in comparison with Xbox Live. Sony has been very generous in their pricing compared to what you get out of it. So you actually asked me what I thought about this, and I think we're at the same idea.
Well, let me say right off the bat, that like people on here are, I don't know if they're angry, but they're saying, did you hear that PlayStation Now is not with PlayStation Plus?
You're right.
You shouldn't expect that.
Right. I mean, you gotta remember. So you are getting did they actually release what they got this year for PlayStation Plus? I know they did for last year.
Oh, I'm sure they probably will if they haven't already.
It was like last year. So last year alone, and correct me if I'm wrong, I remember it being like for having PlayStation Plus for the year of 2012. Yeah, I think you saved if you had downloaded all the free games and took advantage of all the discounted games. You saved yourself about $2,200.
It was thousands, yeah.
It was over $2,000. I think it was like $2,200. So
no one's going to do that, but
no.
Let's be. I think I probably saved maybe $300.
Yeah. Oh, easily. You got to remember just the games alone. Not all of them are brand new games. No. So let's say each game brand new. I mean, the cheapest brand new game for PS3 is what, $20? I think right around there.
Yeah.
So let's just say all the games were $20. You figure that they give about what, 2 every month?
Yeah.
So you figure that's
just on PS4. You have PS3, you got Vita.
Now you have PS4 and you had a Vita before. So you have all these valued savings that you're getting from PS Plus. You're paying $50 a year. Stop. I mean, I understand you would want to pay one thing for everything. Yes, that's great. But stop being a greedy ass.
Yeah, I agree. So now let's go into what we think the price is going to be. I think we both agreed on this. I'm expecting $20 to $30 a month.
I was actually expecting between $15 and $25.
I think it's going to be above $20.
Yeah. Now, that being said, too, they did announce that you're going to be able to do a rental subscription.
Yes.
So you'll be able to rent. So let's say you wanted to play. Let's just say you didn't get to play Last of Us on the PS3, and that's all you want to play. You can probably just rent that. We don't have any idea. They haven't said anything for pricing. They haven't said anything on how the subscription is going to work or the rentals are going to work. But they did say that those are what's going to be in place: rental and subscription.
So you have like an individual basis where you can rent games individually, but the subscription service is very vague. They're saying that you have access to more content than you normally would. It's very vague.
Right.
But what that says to me is that it's not unlimited. You'll probably have maybe 3, 4, 5 games a month that you're allowed to rent or stream or whatever, and then you renew on the next month. Now, let's put this in perspective. I know $20 to $30 sounds like a lot, but let's say it's even $30 a month. All right, so that's $360 throughout the year. That's the equivalent of 6 full-price retail games.
No, you got to remember too. PlayStation Now is the subscription is probably going to be able to include some of the TV programming.
Yeah, we have no idea yet. But even if it was $360 a year, 6 full retail price games a year, let's say you get 3 games a month. That's 36 games right there. And if the service is great,
get me some iced tea.
If the service is great and has low latency and decent resolution, then that I think is a great deal. The thing is, I don't think it'll be. I think.
Sorry, can we just address what Mastermind just said?
What did he say?
He said Jax has to go sell some guns. He'll be right back. About Mark.
About Mark. It's so true.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
But anyway, let's say it's $30 a month. Maybe they'll do $300 a year then. Try and get you in for the full year. It's $30 a month or $300 a year. They could do something like that. Or, maybe it'll be lower. But even if it is that high, I still think that's a good deal, actually, if it's a good service.
Right, so hopefully it's going to be in a reasonable price point. It could, and that being said, it is Sony. So unfortunately, in the past, they haven't done the best of things. It could be $50 or $60 a year. We don't know, or a month. So we don't know what it's going to be. They could even have a bundle where if you already pay for PlayStation Plus, you get a cheaper price on it, kind of like how they do for Music Unlimited. So we have no idea what they're going to do, but the whole idea in general is extremely exciting.
Yeah. Now, one of the big hopes that we have that definitely might not come to fruition, but the idea potentially that say I want to play, I don't know, let's say I want to play Jak and Daxter 2, Jak 2, on there. Now, I put that PlayStation 2 disc into the PS4. Even though it can't play the disc, let's say somehow it can recognize that it's Jak 2. And because I have that disc in the disc drive, it allows me to stream that game for free.
Right.
Do you think that's possible?
And we had this conversation. So the way, if anybody out there is watching from their PS4, congratulations, you're a lucky fucker, and I want one. But
only I have a PS4. Ha!
So you were able to, if you had Call of Duty, if you had FIFA, there was a select, I think, 6 or 7 games that you had, where if you had it for the current gen system.
Pause. We have reached 100 viewers.
Woo! Woo! Level up! Level up!
Oh, okay.
All right.
God, your nose.
All right. But
Should
if you
I
had
sing
it
a
for
song?
No,
we might lose viewers.
Remember last time that happened?
We don't need you to go into back to
They all thought
again.
that you left to sell some guns and that you were going to be right back. That's what it was said.
They said Jax left to sell guns.
Yeah. No, I really I made a deal just upstairs. You got-
I'm sorry.
Anyway,
I said
but anyway, so you were able to purchase for, I think there was a code in your disc for the PS3 where you put it into the system. It gave you a discounted digital version of, let's say, Call of Duty or Battlefield, whatever it is, on the PS4. You downloaded that, but you have to insert your PS3 disc in the system. It was a really cool idea for the upgrade to make sure that you weren't just going to download, buy it for the PS3 and then sell it and then have it for both systems.
But what's cool about that is what that shows
is you're able to have there's basically essentially, and this is, I've known this for years. I don't know if you knew this, and this is why burning discs. If anybody out there was an idiot when the PlayStation 1 was around and thought that you could just burn it onto a DVD because all it was a DVD disc, you obviously found out you were wrong. There's special coating on the disc that makes it read that way, and that's what's happening with this. So this shows that the system is actually able to read old coatings.
It recognizes, even though it can't play it, it does recognize that it's Battlefield 4. It recognizes that it's Assassin's Creed 4 or Call of Duty, Call of Duty Ghosts.
Now, here, look at what Exo just said. Now, he read this. I don't know where did you read that from? Did you get to read the whole thing? He said he read that they said that even if you had the disc, you won't be able to play it for free. Which I'm not surprised with. This is all just this is where we're talking about our hopeful speculation. Where we're saying they have the potential to do something great. This is what they could do with it. We don't know if it's going to happen. But if you know where you saw that it was read, let us know because we must have missed it somehow. So
I'm going to open up the phone lines because I think a lot of people would be interested in talking about this.
There's a lot of questions right now.
Can't leave the door open.
And we're finally getting some decent amount of viewers here. We got 110. Thank you everyone for watching us. I'm going to go into it again. We are the Level Up Show. We are a gaming dedicated stream, discussion, whatever you want to call it.
Getting really
We're on
excited right now.
We're on Saturdays at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
We started late today.
But we're on typically Saturdays
Yep.
at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we discuss the gaming news of the week. We discuss what we've been playing. We discuss what you want to talk about. We have you call in like we're just about to start. And
everything.
Just everything gaming.
Everything. We have to stick strictly to gaming just for the bylaws.
That was quick. We already got a call. Hey, you're on the Level Up Show. How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm doing great. What do you want to talk about?
Well, there were a couple of people talking about Dust 514. I know it was a massive failure.
It was.
To most people.
I'm really disappointed about that because I tried to play it and I was not excited.
I heard rumors that they're going to be changing some stuff.
I heard that too.
What did you hear?
I'm sorry?
What did you hear? I'm sorry?
That they're going to be changing a bunch of stuff for the Dust 514 series that's coming out, and that's why they haven't released it for PS4 yet.
Yeah, I think that they made a big mistake in releasing it so late into the PS3 life cycle. They probably should have just held off, made it a PS4 title, really built up the hype for it, make it feel like an entirely new IP or whatever, even though it's not. Just make it feel like it's a brand new thing for PS4, and they might have gotten some more people behind it. But releasing it so late in the PS3 life cycle against Call of Duty and all these other huge shooters, it was bound for failure. So I don't know if they're going to be able to come back from that.
It's kind of a disappointment that what actually came out with that. But I just wanted to give a shout out to all my guys over in Afghanistan. That's where I'm streaming you guys from right now. I'm with the 333rd Ranger Division 2nd Battalion, Charlie Company.
Wow, dude, thank you. Honestly, I just want to say, and I'm probably on behalf of all of us, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for serving our country. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and thank you for calling us.
Yeah, hey, keep up the show. We enjoy watching it over here.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
My eyes are literally tearing up.
Kristen is tearing up. That was a really great call.
Yeah, cool.
Thank you for calling.
That was awesome. So,
thank you. Thank you for all you do.
Dust 5.4 actually, that was something I was excited about, and you wanted nothing to do with it.
Well, so I know from people that talked about it that it just was really, really complex.
It is. And that's why I stopped playing it.
Yeah.
I gave up because there was so much.
There's nothing wrong with that. Let me go ahead and say there's nothing wrong with that.
It's great for those that want to be into it, but I was so excited because I thought, all right, I don't have nearly the amount of time to put it into Eve.
Yeah.
And I want to. I thought that it was a great idea.
Which is such a cool idea behind the game.
But having the connectivity to the Eve universe, I was like, great. I can just have I can be a mercenary. But you can't. You have to invest so much. And there are people that are really doing it well, but it's just not. It's not worth it right now. Yeah. So.
Yes, as Mark just posted, you can call in 856-244-1656. And at this point, we're ready to talk about anything that we talked about in the news segment. But if you want to talk about PlayStation Now specifically, that'd be great because that was a huge announcement this past week, and we'd love to talk about it with you guys. So is there anything else we can talk about in the meantime?
So I wanted to bring up, did you actually... Huh?
Oh, sorry.
Stop covering the reason why people aren't watching us.
Let's cover
Anthony's face. All right, that's why the reason why we
gotta show the number, or it makes no difference.
You have to show the number.
Anyway, we gotta move the beer bottle.
All right, well, damn it, no, it's beer. Why would you?
Okay, there we go.
Why would you move the beer?
Because it's empty anyway.
There you go.
No, there was there was something else I want to talk about.
This guy just said BF4 was banned in China. Well, first of all, China banned almost everything.
We didn't actually bring that up. Did you know that they're now allowing game consoles in China?
Yeah, that's a big deal.
We didn't actually talk about that.
That's a huge market now to start selling consoles in. Hey, welcome to the Level Up Show. You're live. That is cool. Okay, cool. What do you want to talk about?
You guys spoke about the PlayStation Now application. I was going to say, what about the, it's got to compete with GameFly. If it's going to get, streaming service like that, if they do a monthly fee, or something like that, it's got to be competitive to at least a 2-game download on, GameFly or something like that.
That is true.
Here's the thing that you gotta remember with that though is if you want to play, let's say you want to play a PS3 game, you have to have a PS3. If you want to play a PS2 game, you have to have a PS2.
Yeah.
With the PlayStation Now, you can play every game from PS1 to PS3 on your TV. You don't even have to have a game console. You can just play it right there.
Yeah, it's a much broader service for sure.
Yeah, so I agree. It has to be competitive, but I don't honestly, in my personal opinion, as I'm cheap. I'm a cheap ass. I don't. Damn it, and you have...
It looks like he's squished.
Sorry.
One job.
You have one job. I don't feel like it needs to be that competitive to GameFly. I do agree with you that there is a service for that, and there are people, I'm guessing like you, that have a bunch of the systems that you can play it on. But it's gonna, it's gonna expand the horizons to people that haven't had, a PlayStation 3 or a PS2. So.
Yeah, and the funny even. Yeah, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Obviously, it's going to be a if you don't have your own system, you have something. For the core game that already does have that, when you already have those options.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Provide competitive things to that.
No, I agree with that. The one thing, yeah, I agree with that. No, I don't disagree with that. I'm just trying to think, for instance, let's talk about online games such as WoW or WoW or Final Fantasy 14. You're paying $15 a month for that.
One game.
For one game. This is such a broader service. And there's got to be a lot of data transfer involved here. There's got to be a lot of load going on that Sony has to take care of.
You got to remember that they're not running it off of your unit.
Yeah.
They're running it off of a
collection of
servers that are constantly running games for everybody everywhere.
It's very ambitious, and that's the only reason I'm thinking maybe it might be $20 or more a month.
Well, I can see 20, maybe $30 a month. $300, that's a lot of years.
Work. No, I agree with you. What, do you think? Okay. No, I agree with that. Definitely. Thank you for calling. You too.
Thanks, man. You too. I'd take this one, I guess.
Call from unknown caller. Accept, press 1.
We're gonna accept.
It's from prison.
Hey, you're on the Level Up Show. How you doing?
What's going on, man? Alright, so let me start y'all on the PlayStation Network, but besides from that, so introduce myself. But the basic question I want to ask is about the Pulse headset. But I have it for the PS3, but when is the update coming out for the PS4 so, that we could use it?
Yeah, I think this is definitely coming very soon. I think Pulse Elite headsets are going to come in the next update, I would imagine. But there's also news that just released that Turtle Beach is going to be the big provider for Sony headsets moving forward. The official PlayStation 4 headsets. There's probably going to be some really nice headsets coming out very soon from Turtle Beach if you're willing to spend some extra money on that. But yeah, if you have a Pulse Elite, which I hear is a great headset for PlayStation, it's coming very soon.
I would say within the next couple months.
Yeah, definitely, it's coming, and there's going to be an update this month, and it might be in that one.
It could be that one. They said that it was a lot of things that were kind of locked down.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's stuff coming. I'm guessing that you have the Pulse Elite through the PlayStation 3.
I have the PlayStation, not the Elite one, the original one, either one that you pull.
Okay.
Pulse, the regular Pulse,
I own it. I have that one.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, they're good headsets. I hope that they come very soon.
Yeah, so.
Thank you for calling, man.
Alright, cool. Thanks a lot, man. I've got to do a good job.
Thanks, we
Thanks, man.
appreciate
You
it.
take care.
Thank you.
Got another call.
This one.
Call from unknown caller. To accept, press
When you guys do unknown callers, it always makes me nervous.
Hey, you're on the Level Up Show. You're live. How you doing?
Mike.
Good. I have a question.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What's so important about having PlayStation now?
What's important about having it? Well, I think a lot of people were disappointed in no backwards compatibility. It's something that a lot of the hardcore gamers really kind of expected from previous generations up until PS2. And we especially had a ton of backwards compatibility. And especially when Xbox 360 even announced that they weren't having backwards compatibility, which I think people were expecting even more than PlayStation. Xbox One doesn't have backwards compatibility with 360. Yeah, but I think people were expecting that for Xbox at least, and none of them have this backwards compatibility. This is the answer to that. This is the answer to legacy gaming. PlayStation has a really strong back catalog, and they need to emphasize that. There's a lot of people that want to go back to these old Metal Gear Solids and Final Fantasies and Kingdom Hearts and Jak and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank and Sly Cooper and God of War, and I could go on and on. There's a lot. Siphon Filter, Crash Bandicoot. Like these are all going to be streaming titles rentable by you for hopefully a decent price. So that's why I think it's a big deal.
That's cool. Hey, tell the girls the fact they said the office.
Sorry, I knew where that was going immediately. That's why I got ready for it.
Okay.
I did not want to go into that.
I couldn't hear what he was saying at the end, but I think it was going in a dark direction.
Tell the girl in the black that.
Yeah, that's
why.
Sorry.
It's gray.
Sorry if we cut you short. If you were trying to make an actually decent comment, but we have a feeling you weren't. So.
Yeah.
But thank you for calling.
Wait, was that a long con?
More callers.
I think it was.
I think that was one of our.
Good
We
luck,
have
hon.
the best trolls ever. Can I just say to anybody that is trolling, we have the best trolls ever created.
I do like the long cons because it gives us the opportunity to have a good discussion and then we can shut them off before they control us.
Woo!
Yeah.
Are we done with calls?
No, we're not done with calls.
All right. So anyway, real quick. Oh, damn it! Go ahead.
Do you have anything real quick?
No, it wasn't anything big. It was just I was going to bring something up in the meet while we were waiting.
Alrighty, let's go.
Well, there's no waiting apparently.
It's good. I'm liking it.
Hey, welcome. You're on the Level Up Show. You're live.
Yeah, I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
About the update. Do you think they're ever gonna bring back like voice changer?
You know what? That's funny.
That's kind of interesting.
It's not something I really want them to bring back, to be honest. I wasn't a really big fan of that.
No, I used it. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
I used it a little
I don't really want to hear chipmunks.
Well, I didn't use that part. I used the little bit. I used it.
I kind of like making fun of people like talking like a little kid.
Okay, I mean that's your prerogative, I guess. I feel like PlayStation's kind of not a place for that.
But what you're trying to say that the PlayStation's too classy for that?
I am a little bit. I think people really associated PlayStation 3 at least with a little bit more of a mature audience than Xbox, and that's not to say anything against Xbox. It's more about that it had a little bit of a younger kind of teen audience than PlayStation did, so you get a little bit more of that. But and I think now that PlayStation's doing so well. Yeah, that's a big deal. That's a bigger deal to me.
Right. I'm really surprised that there's no reason for CDs and everything like that. That doesn't make any sense to me. But
well, more so MP3s. Like no one really uses the CDs too much anymore for audio. But at least give us MP3 support, DLNA support. Give us. I don't know, the Blu-ray support that you had on PS3. It's not as featured as it was on PS3. So I agree with you there. They do need to update that quickly. Oh wow, that's good news. He's saying that it's at the end of the month that they're going to be doing a big update. I hope that's true. Thank you for calling.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Take care.
Good night, man. Great.
I say we give stuff away.
Yeah, we should give stuff away. Why haven't we?
People have
I think we're waiting for the end. But just so that you guys don't know, it is getting late, and we do have a couple really big giveaways to have right now. No, keep it up. Yeah, we'll take another couple calls.
Yeah, we'll keep it up. But Mark, do we want to do anything?
Yes, you should.
All right, so we're not even going to tell you what they are yet, but add us on Twitter. Yes, I want to do Twitter, and then
yeah, that's true. We did promise. Okay, so how about you follow us on Twitter at the Level Up Show? Mark, can you post that?
Yep.
And hashtag
Quest.
That's a hint. Hashtag Quest.
All right.
Hey, you're on the Level Up Show. How you doing? I'm sorry, shut off your volume in the background. There you go, that's better.
Great, man.
What's up?
Elder Scrolls Online, knocking out Final Fantasy around the board.
Yeah, I think that Elder Scrolls Online
According to Drew, it's not a very good deal in comparison to Final Fantasy.
No, it isn't. Let's be honest. It's not as good a deal as Final Fantasy 14. That means nothing.
No,
really. But I think Elder Scrolls is going to be huge. They've never done an MMO before, while Final Fantasy has, and you're going to find a lot of people that are into that world jumping onto Elder Scrolls. The thing I will say, and I don't have a lot of backing for this, is I do think that the world of Elder Scrolls isn't something that you really attach to like you do Final Fantasy. You attach to the quest and what you do within that world, but really, do you have Moogles? Do you have the airships and the chocobos and the lore
I'll tell
of
you
Final
right now,
Fantasy?
it's going to be more about the actual beauty of the whole world.
It's going to be gorgeous. Yeah, I agree with
that. It's going to be the beauty of the world. It's going to be the intrigue, the mystery. There's much more mystery through the world of Elder Scrolls than there is for Final Fantasy. So
yeah, go ahead.
I think that Around the Bourne will go free to play.
Do I think Realm Reborn will go free to play? I don't think so, because they're kind of already doing this thing with PlayStation Plus and whatnot, giving you a month free, giving you the game for free at the beginning. You don't even have to pay anything to start playing it. And then after the first month, you get the $15 fee. I think that's enough of a deal right there. I don't think they need to go free to play. They never established that economy within the game. It would be a really big workaround for them to do, so I don't see that happening, no.
Right.
Celtics doesn't have a Twitter.
Facebook too.
But anyway, those are my thoughts. Are you looking more forward to Elder Scrolls than you are Final Fantasy?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just hardcore gamer.
That's awesome.
I don't really care about $50 a month.
Okay. Yeah, that's great for you. Yeah, definitely. All right, man. Thanks for calling in.
No problem.
Take care.
So I did notice that some people don't have a Twitter. I'll tell you right now, honestly, one of the reasons why we tell you to do it on Twitter is just so you can keep updated with us. That's where we put most of our information on there. So it would be great if you can put it on Twitter. But if you have Facebook, they can message us on Facebook for this. Just because it is a big giveaway. The more people have a chance at it.
Did Mark put that up?
Yeah, so Mark just put it up now. So
hey, you're on the Level Up Show. You're live. Hello, are you there?
Hi,
I'm not hearing anything, so.
my name is Joe.
I'm sorry to whoever just called. I'm not hearing anything. But yeah, as Mike was just saying, we have a Twitter, we have a Facebook, we have Twitch, we have YouTube,
everything.
we have Blogspot.
we should be your reason to create a Twitter.
Yes, sure. Let's go with that.
I don't know why I would have said that.
No, but we are trying our best here to really keep people updated, and we're trying to branch out a little bit from even this. We have a few articles going up, we have some reviews going up, we have some Let's Plays going up on YouTube, on Twitch, on everything. So try and follow us.
Hey, you're on the Level Up Show. What's going on?
What's up, buddy? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you perfectly fine now. What's going on, man?
Just have a couple questions about, other questions, but want to talk about Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, okay, definitely one of my favorite games.
Basically what they're going to do on Final Fantasy VII is remake it for HD for PS3.
Oh man,
that would be absolutely amazing.
I've been talking to Mike about this for 5 years.
We've been having this conversation forever. Forever. And I don't see it coming anytime soon.
No, the thing is, there's desire within Square Enix to do this. They have so many young guys over there now that are new hires that grew up on Final Fantasy VII, and they're dying to remake something like that. The problem is that it's so ambitious. There's a lot of like jokes going around that they said they can't do worlds like Final Fantasy VII in HD. They totally can do a world like Final Fantasy VII in HD. The thing is that it really would require a huge team, a lot of the original team, and a lot of time and effort, and even though Final Fantasy VII remake would, I think, do very well, I think that there is a little bit of a concern there with them that it wouldn't really pay off. I think it's kind of a Hail Mary for them.
Yeah.
I feel like if
that's what we had actually talked
doesn't do well,
right? We and him actually had said, at the time the PS3 was actually not doing very well when we were having this discussion. That we were saying if it starts getting really really bad, that their Hail Mary would be the development of Final Fantasy VII on the PS3 as their like last swan song.
I'll tell you right now, I'm dying for it, and I think it's funny. It's one of those things that I think would bring a lot of people back. I have a cousin who was the guy who introduced me to Final Fantasy with 7 back when I was 9 or 8 or whatever, and he hasn't played a Final Fantasy since. And he doesn't really game that much anymore. He plays Call of Duty, and that's pretty much it. But even I said, if a remake of Final Fantasy VII came out, he's like, I would totally play it. Like, he would come back for that game alone, just because it has a place in a lot of people's hearts, and Square Enix in their hearts as well. I think it's a big title for them. It's especially in the U.S. I think it did very well in Western markets. I think it'd be stupid of them to never do it, but I think it's a long way off.
Yeah.
Right. I get you. I understand. I'm a big fan of Final Fantasy, and 7 was my favorite. 8 was amazing. And I'll tell you what, if they remake 7 and 8, and from what I understand, is they're going to redo the storyline. If they do that, that would be amazing, and that would just bring back every old school RPG player like myself back. And of course, I still play them PS1.
I do too.
Download, PS3, and that would be just amazing if they did that.
I'm gonna say I don't want to go on this for too long, but I do want to say to redo the story. I know you're not implying the entire story, but that's a touchy area we're getting into now. Like Square Enix, I think they know that a lot of fans would just attack if they found out that a lot of stuff was being changed. In my opinion, incorporate some of the Crisis Core stuff, some of the Advent Children stuff, get Genesis involved, make that something that really relates to the Final Fantasy VII story, but you gotta keep it, for the most part, the same. Don't remove the cursing. Don't remove the Gold Saucer, or Don Corneo, or the whorehouse. Yeah. Like, these are all really important stuff to that game that give it a little bit almost of a comedy feel at moments, that if they get rid of, it completely destroys the charm of that game. They need to hold on to that charm as best they can. So that's a touchy area. I do think they need to make it new. They need to straddle a line.
It needs to be fresh.
It's all about straddling that line.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I agree with you, man. Definitely.
And just remember one thing before I let you guys go. The new Final Fantasy Lightning's Return. Remember that one of her skins that you can actually download is the Final 7.
Yeah, I think you get that for free if you reserve it at.
Yeah, I think you get that for free if you reserve it. That's Clouds, and you also get Eris's eventually. They've got a Yuna costume. They've got a lot of cool fan service in that game for sure.
Oh yeah, hey guys, great show. Nice talking to you. Have a good one.
All right, thanks a lot, man.
Bye.
Cool.
I had to.
You went really deep into that.
I could go on and on.
Drew could literally talk about that forever. We have. I think we talked about. There was one time we talked about for almost an hour.
Yeah, I would. If you want to message me in private, I'll talk to you about that for hours. But
private number.
I can't do that.
Do you?
Yeah, why not?
All right. We haven't had one
more.
Hey, you're on the Level Up Show. How you doing? What is this about? This is pretty much just a gaming dedicated discussion that we're doing. We're just trying to have some fun here, talk what we love with you guys, who I'm hoping love gaming as well. And, have you guys call in, discuss the big stories of the week with us, talk about what we've been playing, what you've been playing, stuff like that, pretty much.
Just for fun.
Okay.
Cool. How long have you been watching? Is this your first time watching us?
I've been watching for, at least 15, 20 minutes, man.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we're on every Saturday.
I can still do it now more than, I'm a bit.
Yeah. Well, this is our 7th episode, so we're on usually every week. We're now doing Saturdays, so we're just going to go over gaming topics of the week. We have different segments that we'll do and everything like that. So
we're just really impressed by this technology to be able to put ourselves out there on Twitch through the PlayStation 4. So we're trying to take advantage of it, have some fun with it. So, if you want to watch us and subscribe to us, we're on Twitch and Facebook and Twitter and all that. So, hope you do. Just gaming for the most part, just because that's kind of what you have to do on Twitch. They don't really allow anything else.
We haven't said. Oh, as you can play. Don't start.
All right. Oh, thanks a lot, man.
So while we don't have a caller, I thought this was funny. I want to bring this up. So with the whole choice feature. Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
yes.
I think.
I mean, it's getting late. I don't know if you guys can see the clock behind us. It's 1:15. It's kind of.
I just shut down the phone. Sorry to anyone that still wanted to call, but it's getting really late here. We started late. But this was a great show.
It was great.
Yeah, it really was.
It turned out to be a great show.
On the way to the supermarket today, Andrew said, I have a bad feeling about tonight.
Well, let's be honest. So we're at 104 right now.
Yeah.
When we started at 10 o'clock. We said we were going to. Yeah. We had one person.
We had 45 minutes of 2 people.
Right, we had 2 people, and that was it. XOL, you stayed with us. You were our most loyal viewer. Our normal loyal viewer as well is sick, so he's not with us right now.
Let's give away stuff.
Yeah, let's give away stuff. Let's say what we're giving away.
So
we have
we've been teasing that we have stuff to give away tonight, and we do. We have some really big things. The first is going to be for anybody that has a PS3. We have a free download of Ratchet & Clank Quest for Booty. This was the download-only title for Ratchet & Clank, taking place between Crack in Time and Tools of Destruction. A great game. This is a $15 game right here.
So as we were saying, just follow us on Twitter, please,
or Facebook,
and tweet at us #Quest, and then you are in the running to win Quest for Booty.
Yep.
We're going to do a random number generator type thing to decide who gets it, and then we will privately message you either on Twitter or on Facebook, and we'll give you this code. We have another thing as well.
We do. Now this is pretty cool. Drew doesn't know as much about it as I do, but the game is called Mighty Quest for Epic Loot. And this is pretty cool. It's still in beta. You have to get accepted to the beta, but not only that, they have these founders packs. We have actually gotten our hands on one. We have a code to give away for that. It's a $50 founders pack.
Yes, it's $50.
You can only get, I believe this one you can only get at GameStop. And you literally get a ton of in-game currency, stat boosts, a bunch of special in-game weapons. So this is for the PC. So you can download this, and this is going to give you the founders pack for that. So again, that's going to be Quest as well. So anybody that has tweeted,
we won't give 2 games to one person. We're not doing that.
2 different people.
There'll be 2 different people.
Whoever the first person we. Huh?
Yeah, she's saying Facebook's important too.
Yeah,
she's right. Not just Twitter. Yeah. You can also message us on Facebook, add us, message us on Facebook, or just comment us with #Quest. We'll be looking at that as well. It's not just Twitter.
Yep. So we're going to be giving both of these away as a thank you to our loyal viewers. We have a couple that have been watching since the beginning, so thank you very much.
With just to say, with this one, it's not as simple as just putting the code into Steam or whatnot. We'll give you the information on what you need to do, though.
Yeah.
You'll have the code, and you'll have to go to a certain website where you need to type in that code, and then you have instructions on how to get the game. But again, just do one of those things that we said, and you are in the running to win it. You won't get it for sure, but you might be one of the people selected.
Right. So that's pretty much it. I wanted to bring this up. This is actually a really funny story. We were talking about the Xbox, voice features and everything like that. Yeah. Some kid actually went on. This is the best troll I've ever heard of. He actually went on his console, changed his gamer tag to Xbox Sign Out, and he will go in front of players playing like Call of Duty and stuff like that, and just fuck with them. He'll just teabag them constantly and everything like that. So they start yelling at him, and then just yell, "God damn it, Xbox Sign Out!" And they'll actually sign their Xboxes out of the console itself. Yeah. There's a video online.
That's something we could do right now. Should we do that again?
Absolutely hilarious.
Xbox
sign out.
Yes. Did it work?
Did it work?
All right.
Did we lose viewers?
So.
All right, so one more time, Mark, will you put all of our stuff up one more time?
It was hilarious.
I'll say it as well. There it is, our Facebook. We're also on Twitter at The Level Up Show, level spelled LVL. We have a blog spot called thelevelupshow.blogspot.com. You can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/user/thelevelupshow. That's level spelled LVL. And then finally, no, that might be it.
No, I think we have the.
And then obviously we have our Twitch. Our Twitch is the Level Up Show, spelled exactly how it sounds. But finally, our PSN IDs. If you want to add me on PSN, my ID is DrewM1788 and Mike.
Noob Guru.
Noob Guru. NOOBGURU. Is that
Yeah,
it?
Yes, it is.
Noob
the right
Guru.
way.
And feel free to add us. No problem at all.
And like we found out last week, people were surprised. We're real people. We talk to you. We're not too famous.
No.
You know, someone
We're not
messaged
famous
us
at all.
and
We're not famous.
added us into a party chat and was so excited because we were actually talking to them.
Yeah, thank
we
you,
will talk to you. Yes, but we are real people, so we will talk to you, hang out with you. If you want to play a game with us and we're online, invite us to your game. We'll you know, we're friendly.
Come over and Andrew will cook you dinner.
Come over here. You can be part of the podcast.
I don't know about that.
You can take Ant's spot so he doesn't keep knocking down the goddamn
Bye,
sign.
Deadpool. But again, we are the Level Up Show. We are on Saturdays at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to follow us on Twitter or Facebook or anything like that, we will update you with our schedule if that does change. But thank you so much for watching. Let's do a chant here, guys. Level up! Woo! Take care, guys. See you next week.
Have a good night, guys.
Bye.